greatest adventure. Last episode, our heroes found themselves in the village of Remy, preparing to defend it against hordes of undead led by Lord Dormont, who they had freed from his tomb while in search of the blood of the king that never was. While they were successful in that endeavor, releasing Lord Dormont came with some additional sacrifice, and they were soon to find out exactly what that meant. As Lord Dormont had traveled up and down the field, the ancient battlefield, raising an army of undead to destroy Yorwick and anything in between. And right now, that in between was the village of Remy. And so, as heroes prepared to face them, they were fortunate to make the acquaintance of Commander Pritchard, who, the commander of an infantry from Yorwick, had some experience in these matters and was preparing to rally the city against what would be approaching very, very soon. So, the next few days they would spend training the civilian soldiers and evacuating those that were unable to defend themselves or take up arms against the approaching horde. Unfortunately, the group was down 2 of their number as Nem and Styx had departed to Yorwick, not necessarily to seek help or reinforcements, but on a very peculiar quest of his own. Styx had compelled Nem due to a bond of duty or promise that she had made to help him confront the man that was his nemesis, the Cudgel. And so perhaps it was opportune time or cowardice, Styx had decided that this was the time to go. Nem sadly followed. In any case, Hildy, Nihilus, and Jolo remained, each of them commanding 100 civilian soldiers against whatever might be approaching, whatever numbers they may be, as they did not know. And that's where we begin tonight's episode. So we begin tonight with our heroes facing an undead horde approaching the city. Commander Pritchard has moved along the lines and doing his best to inspire the civilian soldiers and their leadership as much as anything else, as most here have very, very little combat experience outside of hunting and dealing with an errant creature here and there, and beasts that find themselves accidentally stumbling upon a farm. Even our brave heroes have had little experience, for the most part, leading others into battle, especially when it involves combat tactics and that sort of thing. So we have Hildy, who is advising Rollo, who himself is a retired soldier from Yorwick, and they are looking after the eastern approach to the village of Remy. And then we have Nihilus, who is watching the bridge with his company of civilian soldiers on the northwestern side of the village. And we have Jolo being advised by his brother Dylan. There seems to be almost a temporary truce between them, their war of words, as the task at hand has brought them together, facing a bridge, they know they'll have to defend against the undead here pretty soon.
Provisional brother.
Provisional brother. So, with Commander Pritchard maintaining the headquarters in the center of the city at the tavern, and the Temple of Suna that has been set up as basically the triage center for any injuries that may and probably will occur during the battle. The weather is frightful. You have a storm that has come in parallel to the appearance of the undead figures in the distance along the road, about 300 feet away or more on their approach into Remy. Rollo, with Hildy, takes a moment. As he has been a very eager partner to Hildy and her advice in terms of setting up the trench and the pitch and so forth as part of their defensive structure. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on a map so you can see. I'm going to expand it to the actual greater map so you can see a little bit clearer what's going on. Has a bit of a confession to make. Madam Hildy, I appreciate all your help. You've been really instrumental in preparing our soldiers, we'll call them, and the defenses of this road leading into Remy. As you know, I was a retired and decorated soldier for Yorwick, but my rank was really not very high. It was really about the equivalent of a sergeant. Never led more than about 30 or 40 troops on skirmishes and raids and so forth, dealing with the Fomorians and that sort of thing. So, your experience, your insight, your gut feelings as we prepare to face these creatures are going to be invaluable, and I hope that you can help me make the right decisions. I don't want to let Commander Pritchard down, but I, more than anything, don't want to let my people, down.
Well, Rollo, I'll certainly do my best to help you, but remember this. To an army of privates, you may only have been a sergeant, but to a gaggle of farmers with pitchforks and torches, you're a general.
It's very encouraging and very generous on your part. I'm glad to have you with me.
Well, we'll probably die together.
I certainly hope not. But if things start to look unfortunate and impossible, I happen to have a keg around the corner in case we just need to, satiate our thirst and go out not quite, a little bit more on the inebriated side, I would say, on our travel to Suna, or whomever it is that...
Oh, that's right, I forgot to pray. Yay, Neve!
Yes.
We talked about this. It's supposed to be Yay Suna.
It's nighttime, dear.
It is. And it is. I mean, it's dark with the clouds overhead. And you're about an hour past sundown as you see these figures approaching, the peals of lightning in the distance, the flashes, the sound of thunder. It's most certainly fitting, considering what you have to face. And then over on the northwest side, we have Nihilus commanding his company, all on his own. But it seems like he has a very inspired group of civilian soldiers with him, considering that the Atlanteans themselves are almost godlike to a villager who has had little experience and often never even seen, come into contact, or had even the opportunity to speak to an Atlantean for the past 5 days. They've had a lot of close contact with him. And of course, with the advice of Commander Pritchard, Nihilus has brought forth a reasonably compelling defense against what's coming on the approach, and he's created a barrier in front on the western side, opposite side of the bridge, and then covered the entire bridge itself with pitch. So, in anticipation of the undead being forced to funnel themselves over that bridge, you feel like he has a pretty good plan. Niles, did you want to add anything to that?
Townsfolk, we face a mighty horde before us, but Luna's light shall guide our sights, guide our aim. Stand fast, stand true, I will stand beside you, and I will see you all in the morning.
And there's a rousing cheer from all around as Nihilus speaks those words. You can see the light in their eyes, men and women alike, and with their improvised weapons, pitchforks, some carrying respectable weapons, others with just clubs and farm implements that rally around you. You feel pretty good about the work that you've done the past few days. And then down on the southwest one, we have Jolo leading a similar contingent of folk. Though perhaps not as inspired, they're feeling reasonably confident because they're being led by a priest of Suna and what they would perceive as a temple knight, who Dylan is in fact a temple knight, if only provisionally at this point, and forced in this circumstance to, in a position of an advisory capacity to Jolo, because provisional knights are not allowed to lead soldiers or even civilians into battle. And it initially created some tension between Jolo and Dylan, of course, but it seems like they've worked out a reasonable middle ground where they are working with each other somewhat respectfully even. And Dylan, as he realizes, along with everyone else, that the undead are approaching, and that imminently they will be in battle with these creatures, and not knowing really what to expect, as the scouts have reported the general direction that they're coming from, but have had some difficulty determining numbers. And then, of course, with the frittering specter of Lord Dormont moving from place to place overhead, his glow illuminating his position clearly, but in the far distance, followed by his flaming steed. It's caused some nerves amongst the entire village as to what the expectation might be. There's thousands of them. They don't know it. And it could just be a situation where all will run. The moment they have hope. And Dylan speaks grandly to the folk that his brother leads. But more importantly, and they seem to be inspired by his leadership, or his advisory to the leadership, as much as he can lead in this situation, is more importantly the interaction that he has with Jolo before the battle begins. And Dylan, in just a quiet moment, knowing what's ahead, approaches Jolo and seems quite serious. He's in full armor, ready to go. You kind of recognize this, but you're a little bit impressed by his determination and his lack of fear. You haven't really seen this side of Dylan when it comes down to this business. The training that he's received over the years as a provisional temple knight, an apprentice journeyman, and then provisional temple knight, has really made him a rock-solid figure, both emotionally and physically. Finding you in the darkness, he places his hand on your shoulder and grips you back. Jolo, I know we've had our differences, and I've said this many times, it just seems like the way I've always opened all of our conversations is to first admit our differences. But I hope after tonight, if we survive, that we're admitting our similarities. I still find you very foolish, but you've done a very, very good job in terms of putting this ragtag group of civilians together. With my help, of course. We've trained them as best we can in the limited time that we had available to do so, and now we face the unknown. Whatever comes, it's going to be terrible. We both know that. We will both place our faith and our hopes in Suna. I know you will, and you know I will as well. But when it's all over, if you have a sword in your back, be mine.
Just a sword?
That's a plus.
Well, I guess. That is very touching, and I hope that I will not have a sword in my back as it happens. And I'd like you to just think of one thing as we fight. Each and every one of the enemy has already died. Probably spent more time dead than alive. All we have to do is bring them back to death. Do what has already been done once before. Once things that other people have done before. And bring them to death. And as long as we keep that in mind, I have no doubt that both of us will survive with no swords in either of our backs.
Be well, brother. I'll be right here with you, watching your back, protecting you as best I can, and helping you to lead our forces to victory. You do not fear. And as everyone finds their places, the defenses at the southwestern bridge where Jolo and Dylan command their company, similar to what we have up north with Nihilus, with the pitch on the bridge, I believe.
They're positioned differently, I believe.
And yes, with the barrier on the near side, on the inside of the bridge, so they would actually have to cross the bridge. And with Nihilus, they also had the trench that was built, then the pitch on the bridge, and then the barrier. So there's quite a impressive defensive structure set up, especially on that side with the river, which really narrows the ability presumably for the ability for the undead to cross, assuming that they don't like water. But who knows? Who knows how mindless these creatures really are, and what sort of leadership they're getting from a long dead king that never was. So, as the citizenry and the heroes face the oncoming slow rush of undead, quiet just settles over the village. Some comfort knowing that most of those who are unable to defend themselves have been taken away and hidden somewhere, hopefully miles away by now, by Gicletta. There's also the hope that it's been 5 days, that maybe the cavalry will arrive from York in time to help. Maybe the druids that Herolthian went to warn in the Matu Mountains, perhaps they'll send relief as well. But right now, the way it looks, as close as they are, and the way that they're coming on, looks like you're on your own. Everyone roll for initiative. Okay, so remember, you're rolling for your company, and you're adding your initiative modifier on top of whatever you roll. So Hildy, what did you roll?
17.
17, Jolo.
I rolled a 6.
With no additional, or is that with everything?
My personal initiative modifier is +0.
Okay, so 6 plus 0, still 6. And Nihilus.
I too got a 17.
Okay. All right.
Now, I believe when we had left off last time, all of us were holding an action for ranged
Yes.
as soon as they came in.
That
So
is correct. So at this point, they will be at where we'll begin. Is they will be at the edge of whatever your range is, assuming that you're going to attempt to do something. You take advantage of all the range. So we shall get to that in a minute. Now, Nihilus, I'm guessing your dexterity might be better than Hildy's, but maybe not.
I've got a 13.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Now I have a question,
Mhm.
just because I'm a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Suppose I roll a 16, but my dexterity is +1, so he gets 17. Now let's rolls a 15, but he's got a +2 on his dex, so he's got a 17. Wouldn't I technically go first since I got the higher roll?
Nope. If the final number is even, then you go with the one with the higher dexterity.
Damn it.
All right.
It's because he.
That's all right. Hildy will have no idea because she's like 2,000 feet away from me.
Yeah, she's a long way away. You guys, I mean, there was no need to put out any light. As a matter of fact, the village is just shining with light. As many torches and lanterns and bonfires as they could create in this village to just produce light.
Nice.
To start with. So it's pretty bright within the confines of the village itself. What that means is basically where you guys are and inward. Outside of that, it's dark, and the road leading up and so forth. Any torches that have been set up as the undead approach it, just going out along the roadway, so it's of no benefit. So given that, and the range that you also have a visual range. So these humans don't have dark vision. So the only ones that have dark vision are none of
us.
None of you.
None of us.
So basically, none of you will actually be able to do anything until they get within basically 60 feet.
What if?
Unless there is some other method of creating some light that would illuminate them.
I feel like he was going to guess what I was about to say.
Only we had a light cleric who
That's what
could
I'm
throw
thinking.
pebbles down the
So
road.
considering that they're all about 300 feet away right now, is there any of that going on that...
I mean, I can't help everyone, unfortunately, but I do have my light cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
So I could theoretically touch the front of the barrier.
Yeah, you certainly could. And that'll basically illuminate the entire area in front of it for 60 feet, right? And so that would essentially illuminate the entire bridge in any case.
20 feet.
But isn't there a dimmer component? Or is that as bright as it goes, just 20 feet?
One object, no larger than 10 feet in any dimension.
Right.
20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Okay, so 40 feet. So yeah, that's enough to get you basically to the edge. That dim light to the edge of the other side of the bridge.
And it can be any color I want. I want it to be red, so it doesn't mess up our dark vision.
Run it down the road towards the zombies.
That's what I said, the answer.
No. Just keep going down the road closer to them.
But then I might get hurt.
That's fine. That's a risk we're willing to take.
So you illuminate the front side of the barrier.
Yep.
And that illuminates the entire area of the bridge in front of you. For Nihilus's group, you're basically seeing just about half the bridge, not the entire bridge. I mean, right now, you can assume that all that's illuminated by torches. But if the pattern continues where all the torches that have been set up along the roadways down the road for a couple hundred feet are going out as the undead approach, then you can probably assume that that's going to happen there too. So just based on the illumination that you have around where you are that would illuminate up to about half the bridge. And then Hildy, it's about the same thing, about 30 feet out, with the illumination that you have.
Okay, so 2 things. 1, I know on the map because of the building and the pitch not actually being on the trench. So Hildy's actually like in between the building and where that pitch is.
Yeah.
Second thing, is it possible, he asks, hoping and crossing his fingers under the table, that...
Is that what you're doing?
Well, that's what I'm telling you I'm doing. Deep pockets. Is it possible that we're looking down this road and when we see the torches go out, let's say roughly 100 feet, we can just fire a volley straight down the road, assuming it's going to hit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just basically...
we can't aim it, but...
No, it's just simply be an attacking disadvantage, range attacking disadvantage.
Okay.
And, concentrated on the road.
Yep.
Unless you wanted to do a more, panned out shot of arrows. And so, yeah, you can absolutely do that.
So that thing I was holding for 320 feet, I'm now going to hold for approximately 100 to where we can shoot into the massive zombies.
Okay, great. All right, anybody else? You're all 3 of you have these held actions. And so we're going to go ahead and move them up to that 100-foot point.
I hope they're blowing Aztec death whistles.
It's eerie. The absolute silence as they approach. Anybody that has been in combat, experienced any kind of combat, seen combat, read about combat, it's always very noisy. It's always very chaotic. In this case, it's quiet. And...
Too quiet. I've always wanted to say that.
Too quiet.
And now you have.
Yeah, it's kind of a letdown, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Try it again. You have to say it like ominous.
I'm still trying to figure out what a death whistle is.
Rabbit?
In context, it feels bad. But
You don't know what an Aztec death whistle is?
no. It's not like a normal whistle, but
No. Aztec death whistles, you can look this up online, were these little clay whistles that they blew when they were going into combat, the Aztecs, except it sounds like fucking undead screaming, ah! And imagine 1,000 Aztecs charging through the woods at you, just the sound of undead screaming echoing around you. It's terrifying. I love it.
You would think if they had bows and arrows, it'd be more terrifying because it could actually hurt me.
They were in the woods.
Oh.
Bows and arrows aren't very effective against a large mass.
Rangers use bows and arrows, and Smokey the Bear.
Against one target. It's not Smokey the Bear.
Was he Aztec also?
It's not Smokey the Bear, it's Smokey Bear. You wouldn't say...
It's like the 420 thing?
You wouldn't say Santa the Claus.
Well, I
You
would.
wouldn't say Easter the Bunny. It's just Smokey Bear.
Anyhow.
That's what were you going to say?
When the undead army gets to the next hex in front of them, I want to cast a spell, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. You have that held action. So, how far back did you want to go? With the when you said next hex, like this one?
No, the one closer, the one right before the barrier.
Oh, okay.
Or the trench.
When they approach. So right now they're within 100 feet. As they approach close.
Oh.
At this point, and then all the torches are going out, and as you see, it's the front grouping of them. You can't really see; it's so dark. You can't really see how many are following behind. But it looks like the roadway, as wide as it is, and it's only about 20 feet wide, is fully. The grouping is fully taking up that space as they come forward, and you can see. The glint of armor or weapon or metal of some sort, and the white of bone and so forth, a couple of ranks back. So you get the impression it's at least 2 or 3 rows of undead, behind the ones in front as the light disappears in front of them as they continue. And then you have Lord Dormont. Once again, you can see him. He's on the map. The steed is following close behind. He's not riding it. He's just kind of flying through the air, and he's quiet at this point, as he seems to be just observing what's taking place below. But he's quite high. He's about 100 feet in the air, in the position that you see him on the map, and he's coming a little bit inward now. Okay, so they're all at that 100-foot mark. We have 3 held actions. Nihilus, is this where you wanted to do something, or wait until they move closer?
I'll wait until they move to the next hex closer.
Okay, the next
In the
next hex is going to put them at the trench, and
It's not one before the trench.
no, because the trench doesn't stop them; it slows them. Consider difficult terrain, so they won't be able to complete their movement, but they'll be right at the edge of the trench. That we're actually in initiative right now, technically, but you have your held actions as that one moves up to that point. What do you want to do?
Okay, so every 6 seconds or so, Nihilus is just yelling out, "Hold, hold!" And then as soon as they get right to the trench, he's going to cast. He's going to grab his trident pendant around his neck and say, "Pontus, please give us some cover." And he's going to cast Fog Cloud over that area, that hex.
Okay, and what is the area that it covers?
It's 20-foot radius sphere, so it should take up most of that whole hex.
Okay. Yep. All right. So, fog moves in, unimpaired by the rain or a little bit of wind that's moving through. It's not really that windy, but it's cold, frigidly cold. This icy rain is coming down, and it's coming down pretty hard, and it's just made the ground muddy. Where you stand in the roadway as they approach, they don't seem to mind. The fog comes in and begins to obscure the front, the leading edge of them as they get to the pit, and you can see that the forward few of them are just beginning to literally fall down into the pit, and almost just like throwing themselves over, unconcerned that there's a pit there at all. So their forward momentum hasn't changed once they get to that point and start to go over. You don't know what's going to happen after that, because we'll get into that in just a moment. So that was your reaction, or your held action. Anybody else want to use a held action at this point?
Yep. Hildy's gonna say, "Shoot him! Shoot him!"
Okay, and make a range attack.
You said disad or no?
They are, yeah, because they're so far out at 100 at disadvantage.
All right. 10.
10 misses. So uncertain where the arrows are falling, and there's very little reaction. I mean, you can hear the growls of the creatures as they come forward, the hungry growls that they've gotten so close, but no cries of pain, no screams of anguish or surprise. So
Okay.
the arrows just enter the darkness, and
That's stuff.
okay, and so
Looked impressive.
Thanks.
So, despite my light, I still can't see the army of the undead.
you can only see the forward portion of them because the torches on the side of the road are going out. So
So
you
that-
know where they are.
That would still be disadvantaged, though.
Yes, because the light's going out.
So I'm gonna wait until they come a little closer, and I'm just gonna hold it or change, or maybe if the
All right. All right. So moving into initiative at this point, but again, you still have your held actions. When they moved up toward Nihilus's trench, that was their movement on that round, and then this one, the movement on this one's round, which is the next one in the initiative order, puts them on the bridge. So they are fully on the bridge, approaching the barrier at this point where you are, Jolo. So unless there's any reactions or held actions, then we're going to go to Nihilus in the initiative.
well, I do have a held action, and since he's on the bridge, I might as well take my shot.
Okay, what's your shot?
And feel a ranged attack, the held action. Of
Oh,
the
right.
bow and
Okay,
arrow.
yes, okay. Yep, and you are not at disadvantage because they are all in plain sight.
+2.
I haven't even rolled it yet. How can I have +2?
Nice.
Oh, I've got a witness here.
Is that a nat 20?
It is.
Nat 20. Okay, so we've won the day.
Yeah,
Battle over.
all the
The
way.
day is saved.
Okay, so what's the damage?
Do we get to roll the big D30?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could, and we'll see how it applies to...
Go.
What do I want? Like a 1 or something?
Or a 30?
Roll that D30 100 times.
I can't reach. What is that?
26.
Okay.
Yes.
And also roll your damage.
Okay. All right. So, you see them begin to slip and slide on the pitch that's been covered, that's covering the bridge. Many of them just kind of falling, some actually falling off the bridge. And notably, not all of them are coming straight down the road. You notice that some of them are coming from the sides, like left and right of the road itself, as they funnel into this bridge. And then when they're fully on the bridge itself is when you unleash your torrent of arrows, just shrieking through the rain and finding their marks rather impressively. What's the damage?
Let's see.
I haven't rolled it, so I'm going to roll my D4.
Okay.
2 times 10, that's like 20.
20, but doubled because it was a 20. So 40.
He's stealing my thunder, but that's good.
Okay.
You're awesome.
Well, that's why I tell everyone.
You deserve to be accoladed.
Wow.
No, not Jolo, just you.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, all right. All right.
All right, so a total of 40?
Yeah.
Okay, not bad. Yeah, so you see a few of them fall. Some of them that do fall continue to try and crawl on as they come forward. Other ones are just knocked just clean off the side of the bridge. So you have definitely affected them in a, well, from your perspective, a positive way.
That makes me feel nervous. Just from my passive perception, does it look like when they fall over into the water, anything weird happens, or they drown, or?
Unfortunately, it's kind of out of sight because your light, where going drop, a 10-foot drop into the water, unclear what's
Any of them
happening.
say Geronimo as they're going over?
But it is a class 5 rapid. They get swept right
That
away.
is true.
It's actually moving at a decent clip, especially now with the rain and the storm that you're dealing with. So the water is moving rather rapidly. Whether or not they can cross that, or it's deep enough that they may just wade across.
No, they can't do that.
You would probably know tactically that it's decently deep. So in most areas, it averages about 8 or 10 feet deep. Okay. I said Nihilus, and Hildy, you already did your reaction, so Nihilus, you're up.
Okay, so I'm just gonna yell out to my company and say, aim for the fog! And then we're gonna take ranged attack,
Okay.
which I'm assuming is at disadvantage?
Yeah, because it's basically, you're blind to what you're trying to hit.
Well, I rolled a 7 and a 1.
Yeah, no, well, uncertain what the effect of that is, as your arrows just disappear into the fog. Anything else from
On a D30?
Nihilus?
I've been there, Nihilus. I get it.
Okay. All right, so Hildy, it's your turn in the order.
He's gonna try shooting again. 16.
Okay, 16 hits.
Yay.
As you can kind of see the ones in the very, very front by the arrows that you send against them.
20 points.
20 points. Okay, it's good.
Yeah, it's not as good as 40 would be, but
Oh, it's still good. Okay.
For non-military people, we're doing very well.
that's right.
All right. Anything else from Hildy?
Nope, we're just saving our reaction for when they get closer.
Okay. And Jolo, this is your turn of the round.
My actual turn. Okay, well, I had so much fun shooting them the first time. It seems like it would be a shame to break from tradition.
Yeah, why not?
Try a different one this time.
All
And
right.
you're behind the barriers, so you have an addition to your AC too. It's a nice position.
Yeah, but I want to shoot away from my guys, not...
No, I know. I'm just saying you're in a defensive position, shooting out over the bridge at them.
Let's say, is that 12?
That's
So
a 12.
12 plus 2 is 14.
14. Yes. You see your arrows impact many of them. Go and roll your damage.
Okay, Nihilus, we need at least a 14 to hit.
30!
Nice.
30. Good job.
Jolo's got all the archers on his side.
And
I
you
trained him.
You hear Dylan just he's got his own very impressive bow that he's utilizing right beside all the others, calling out to the other men, trying to inspire them further as they cast their shots. And anything else from Jolo?
That Dylan's a straight shooter.
By the way, remember, you can use your own actions to inspire your company, removing that disadvantage.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that.
I did too, because I'm not at disadvantage.
Damn it.
Well, actually, I could have gotten an advantage.
You could have.
So, similar situation to what's happening over on the Northwest Bridge. You're seeing the Hildy. You're seeing the undead just walking. They're not stopping at the pit, the trench. They are literally just falling in.
As soon as they start falling in, we're going to use our reaction.
Okay, they're not fully in the pit at this point. They're just like at the edge of it, and you see the few of them, the front of them, but they don't appear to be stopping.
Right, but it burns for 3 rounds, so I figured next round they'll be either on it or through it. So
Yeah, so you got a few of them in there now, but not like the entire unit's not there.
Gotcha. We're going to pop it.
Okay, right now?
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, they're not, either they don't have a range attack or, I mean, you don't see, these guys are not carrying bows. Again, their weaponry is very, not that different from your company, except that they are actual weapons that they're carrying, whether they're axes or shields or, daggers or whatever, but they're broken, they're rusted, they don't look like they're in any condition to use.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Normally, but just the claws on these things, the mandibles, with the long teeth, grimacing from their somewhat skeletal figures. They don't look like zombies. A zombie would be a common thing that you would read about, and from the descriptions that any of you might know, just anecdotally, they don't quite appear to be that type of creature. Whatever they are, they seem to just be coming and coming and coming without care for their own selves. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and light that up?
Yes, we are.
All right, go ahead and roll the fire damage, and it's only going to affect a small percent, but it'll affect a little bit.
60.
Okay. All right, it's not that one. It's down here. Okay. All right. All right, you used your reaction for that. Right, so now we're back at the top of the turn order, and we have the ones against Nihilus. They are now fully within the trench and are coming up onto the bridge. Now the trench, of course, oops, screwed that thing up. Let me go ahead and put you guys on a bigger map. Okay, so the trench, of course, is as difficult terrain for them, so it's going to take their entire movement to get from the trench to the beginning of the bridge. And again, they don't appear to have any type of a range attack, and so that's leaving them there. 1 second. We have all right, and then that's it for them. Anything, any reactions or anything from Nihilus as they are just getting to the bridge?
So it's their turn, not Nihilus's turn?
Correct, it's their turn.
Okay, then no.
Okay, all right, so that brings up the next one in the turn order. That's the group that is fully on the bridge, facing Jolo and Dylan. They are at the barrier, and they're beginning to attack the barrier.
Are they on fire currently?
You haven't lit the fire.
Yeah, you never said you lit it.
Oh, come on.
I was waiting, but I was trying not to be meta, and I'm going, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You gotta light it. Now they're on the bridge and they're at the barrier.
He even said they were slipping in the pitch, and I'm like, that's your chance.
You know what? I'm giving them a sporting chance as I destroy them. It's
But
all
you do have your reaction.
psychological warfare.
Yeah,
here.
in a moment if you want to use it. Their attack against the. Ooh, they do a little damage against it. Okay, so they're taking that thing apart.
Told Dylan to light that thing.
Did you now?
Blame it on Dylan.
I told Nihilus to light mine. He did.
They're not terrible.
Can we light your fire?
It looks like they get to about a quarter of it, and they're still unable to move past it. All right, so that's going to end their turn. So
He's waiting for you.
is that it?
All right, can I react?
Yes, you can.
That would be a good time.
Okay, so I'm just staring them down here. How about some more arrows? Okay, I'll light the pitch. Whatever you want from me.
Well, that'd be an action to shoot your arrows because you don't have a held action anymore. But you can react to light the pitch.
Yeah, I'd like to.
In that case, go ahead and roll your damage as the entire
These
bridge
guys.
just goes up in flames.
50,
50 points, great.
and then I shout out. They fell into my trap.
So, still not screaming or crying out in pain. The undead are just they're clearly affected in a very vigorous way by the flames as they leap up from the pitch, and it begins to burn their dried and ancient clothing, armor, and bones, flesh, whatever remains. And some of them are just kind of listless, or just moving in some odd direction, uncertain as to how to deal with it as their bodies are engulfed in this flame.
So it's not fairy fire; it's just normal fire or pitch fire.
Yes.
But would I get advantage on them now because they're like bright as day?
No, they're bright as day anyway because you got a light spell on your barrier.
But now it's doubly bright.
Yeah.
So I
Nihilus,
gotta wear shades.
No. Before Nihilus, we have the Nightmare,
Oh no.
which is moving. There are some. At this point, there are some shouted commands coming down from Lord Dormont. Again, they're in the ancient language that you guys would have to really focus and study to understand. You don't have quite that option, I guess, right now, unless you wanted to detach from your company and focus on what he's saying.
Being super bright, he's probably going to attack you first.
He's not though. He's the furthest from me of anybody.
He is furthest, but he's moving down toward the center of the town. And he's got one more space he can move. Okay, there we go. All right, and now, Nihilus.
So, I guess should have asked on their turn. Is that fog cloud doing anything to sort of disperse them or fan them out or make them fall into the water?
The light situation is not helping you because you can't see the other side of the bridge. You only saw them momentarily as the torches went out, and you cast your fog cloud. And so once the torches went out, the light that you have around you only emanates out to about halfway across the bridge. You see that you would see a few of them coming up. With the thunder and the rain, you might hear a splash or two, but whatever effect that it's having, you're just unclear because you can't visually see that far.
Sure. Okay. Then I will just yell at my company to take another shot to aim into the cloud of fog and try to make purchase with their arrows.
Okay, go and make your attack.
That misses.
What'd you roll?
It misses. I rolled very bad.
You rolled badly. Okay. All right. So, and you're not even sure, how whether you're hitting or missing, as the arrows are just being, just striking through the darkness and the wisp of fog that you can see just at the edge. Outside of that, you're unclear. Anything from those your company's attack? I presume they're not going to move. And anything from Nihilus himself? Okay.
Nope. That's it.
All right. So that brings us to Hildy as you're facing these guys starting to pour down into.
Yep. Now, we can move 2 hexes,
Correct.
or we can attack. Can we move 1 hex and attack?
You can no. It's
No. It's either or.
No, you can actually do both. You can move and attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are going to fire arrows again.
Okay.
I would assume not at disadvantage this time because they're starting to fall into the pit, which is on
you,
fire,
you've
so
got
they're
the
lit.
whole fire blazing, and so that's illuminating that entire hex.
So first we're going to attack. Oh. I guess a natural 1 misses.
Natural one.
Well, this is them.
You guys got to remember, you can inspire your people
we do need to remember that.
before you attack. Yeah.
Okay, and we are going to move our 2 hexes diagonally between the 2 little buildings to start heading towards Jolo's direction.
Okay, down here.
Yep.
Okay. Did
So-
you want to move those? Technically, just
That was one.
Yeah. Do you want
So
to move
1 more
Okay, got it.
to the left into that little grassy
Whoops.
area.
I'll put it on the back. Other side over here. Yep.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So my thought process is, in theory, as long as we stay this far away from them, we can keep shooting them as we're moving. They've got to catch fire to get to us, etc., etc.
Right.
So,
Did it from Hildy?
yes. Roll for the fire or not yet? Wait till their turn.
Yeah, they're taking the damage on their turn.
Okay.
Because it's a reaction to light it. Dormont is before Jolo, and he's also moving. He's moving fairly quickly too, toward the center of the town.
Would you say that Dormont is maybe a couple 400, 500 feet away from Jolo?
Oh yeah, easily. He's probably you can't see. I mean, you can
Each
see him
hex
only
is
'cause-
50
right.
feet.
Yeah. So, but he's at least 100 feet up in the air, and he's probably 1,000 feet from you.
Looks like you guys got your work cut out for you.
So that brings you your turn. Your order, Jolo.
Oh. So I think my strategy so far has been successful. Try to kill the enemy. If I inspire my men, I could theoretically do this at advantage.
That's correct.
So I will provide an inspirational speech.
Okay. Do you want to actually inspire us with your speech?
Sure. Hey guys, looks like we got a pretty good thing going. We keep shooting them and they keep dying, so let's keep at it.
They're undead.
They keep undying.
No. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Go, and they're dead already.
Very
I can
inspiring.
make you roll performance for that. So somehow they're inspired.
You know what?
Probably
Does he have to roll?
from
The,
Gerwin.
the greatest inspiration
Dylan.
is success.
That is true.
Doesn't he still have to roll a persuasion check though?
A charisma check.
You
Charisma.
do have to roll a charisma. Right now they're on fire. They're
So let's
pretty,
see if they're inspired or
pretty
not.
But I can add to that.
How much are you going to add to that?
A lot. I think I have a charisma of 5, if I'm not mistaken. Charisma's up 3, so that'd be 8 total.
Wow, that's exactly what you needed. Because it was pretty low, considering that these things are on fire, and your group of folk or citizen soldiers are feeling pretty good about themselves at the moment.
When you say it's low, that's efficiency is what I'm targeting. I don't want to expend extra energy because this could be a long battle. I mean, I've got to kill people on 2 different bridges, another path, and this dude on a horse that's flying over.
He's not on the horse.
Oh.
The horse
Well, I don't know. I can't see it, so I'm assuming he's on the horse.
no, you can actually see them. They just
Oh.
look like glowing, figures in the darkness. But they're a long way away. So,
But you know what's not a long way away? The arrows that I'm about to shoot into these undead
okay,
people.
make your attack.
Former people.
And they're on their turn. They'll take this.
I'm waiting for the snake eyes. Let's see. Is that 19?
That's
18.
18, so
18 plus 2 is
Wait,
dirty 20.
I'm confused. You can inspire and attack on the same turn?
Well, it's
We're
it's
inspiring, the
yeah.
company is attacking.
Right, company's attacking. So he just inspired.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I thought that took the whole action.
Yeah,
Character action.
yeah, I messed that one up too.
You know, Nihilist, you could also light your pitch.
So what you hit? What was your damage?
Roll a D4. It's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a 40.
Okay.
I had to pay extra for these dice because they give me better numbers.
I guess they do. These bloody vampire dice suck.
So with the light, I mean, a lot of these guys are on fire, and you can see that the arrow is impacting them. Again, some of them are just going over into the water, not necessarily deliberately. They're just kind of like wandering over the side of the bridge. Parts of the bridge are starting to begin to show signs of weakness, as the bridge itself the wooden parts of it may soon be falling through.
Nice.
But that was probably your intention anyway. Just when you put pitch all over it. But you've had a pretty significant impact on this group, as far as you can tell, and but it didn't seem to be slowing them. They're still coming on. Anything else from Joe?
As the arrows hit their armor and their faces, does it sound like music? Like
You could probably come up with something in your
Music
I'm
to
gonna
you.
tell you,
Music to your ears.
Jolo is hearing like a little music box. He's hearing like little bells and stuff. It's really impressive.
Yes, it get hit. No.
Yeah.
All right.
I give a high five to Dylan. I don't know if I'd take an action for that.
No, we'll give a free action. He's just like, all right. It's kind of like a limp fish type thing.
Should have gone for the fist bump. I knew it.
Why
Next
not?
time.
So, all right. So that brings up the last one in the initiative order, and that's the unit that is now fully using both difficult terrain, getting through the whole thing. So they're on top of it. They'll be out next round. They are taking damage. Go ahead and roll the damage for the fire.
If any of our viewers want to send me dice, mine suck, so I'd really appreciate that. 20 points.
20 points. All right. So 20 points of fire damage.
It was out of 60. That's not pretty good.
That's almost passing.
That's the bottom third.
It's pretty good. It's just less than failure.
It's a C minus. At best.
I mean, it's a good thing you have all that pitch, because it's raining pretty hard. Okay, so they take a little damage as they go through. As they're trying to go through, they'll be out of it next round. And that's it for them. So we're back at the top of the round with the Undead Horde at the top. Where Nihilus is extracting themselves from the trench, and now they are fully on the bridge itself. Okay.
I'll use my reaction to light it then.
Okay, so you'll use your reaction to do that.
Nice.
That's fine, and they will get one swipe at that barrier. See if they can do any damage. And not with the 30-sided die. Nothing significant, as they seem the fire ignites, and as they get to the barrier, start to claw at it as the fire just rushes over them. So no significant damage to the barrier at all. How much damage did you do, Nihilus?
50 points.
50?
Yep.
Alright, so that makes a nice little dent. And they have the same type of reaction. One thing that I meant to mention to you, Hildy, is a lot of these undead, although with the fire and everything else, some of them actually swarmed around the pitch. And you noted that they weren't all on the road, that many of them were off to the side in the forest, just kind of moving parallel, but the bulk of them were going along the road.
Notice Hildy was brave enough to take the road and left the bridge for you guys.
Okay, so that's it for them. And then we're down to the Undead Horde that's
Still
attacking
looking
the
out for you.
barrier. Go and roll your damage for them being on fire. This is the second round for them?
I believe so.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the fire damage for them. Is there still
40.
40? Okay.
Another 40.
It is?
These guys are really looking.
The Wrath of
Rough.
Stuna.
The ones that you can see, and Dylan's like, "Ah, we're killing them." He's really thrilled. Of course, he's taking all the credit. What
That's
do you do
fine.
about
He
that?
can have it.
Okay, they do a little bit of damage to your barrier. Not a crazy amount, as they're still kind of distracted by the fire as they're going up in flames. And that brings us to the nightmare that is continuing to move, getting ever closer.
Why is it going?
That's not the right token, was it?
Oh, that was Commander
Oh,
Pritchard.
Pritchard, okay.
Of the Interpros.
Yeah, where is... Oh, there he is, up here. Okay. Jeez, I should have made him different colors. There, perfect. Okay, so he's moving on. Seems to be... Well, you're probably not even paying attention. Okay, Nihilus. You're up.
Okay, well, Josh feels stupid because he didn't realize you could inspire and attack in the same round. I thought it was one or the other. And Nihilus feels stupid because he was hoping his fog cloud would be much more of a deterrence than it apparently was. So we'll try to make up for some lost rounds, and Nihilus will personally try to inspire his crew.
Okay. Well, they are on fire now, so... The cheers that rose from your company certainly indicate that, you know, they're feeling rather uplifted by that attack. What'd you roll?
So 13 minus 1 is 12.
Okay, all right, you still pass. So your crew is inspired, at least for this round. What are they going to do? Range attack?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So that's a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
And then that would be 30 damage.
30 damage. Okay. Right. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay, so the last couple of rounds, you know, with the fire and everything, you've kind of gained a little bit. The ones that are being fully consumed, you know, right there, are just falling to the ground, burning. The rest of them are just mindlessly coming forward. And again, you can hear the calls of Dormont coming down. Perhaps trying to give them inspiration to move on. Anything else from Nihilus?
That's it.
Okay, Hildy, you're up.
Okay, Hildy, feeling just as dumb as Nihilus did. Mike feeling just as dumb as Josh did. It's going to try and inspire
Okay.
her people.
Again, same situation. They're on fire. And you guys are feeling pretty good about that.
18.
That hits. I mean, that inspires.
All right. So my group
Advantage on your attack.
is going to make a ranged attack,
Okay.
which misses.
No. Even with advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, even with advantage. Remember, guys, Uncle Mike needs dice. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. So that's it for Hildy?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, no.
No?
No, we're going to move.
Continuing toward down the road?
Yup. We're going to move our 2 hexes closer to Jolo,
I think I got one more in there for you.
bringing him our gravy.
There we go.
I feel like I should be nervous. Like I'm being surrounded now.
Well, you don't know.
He'll be on one side and Daddy's on
I'm
the
bringing
other.
you an extra army.
Yeah. You're probably focused on the untold undead that are rushing your position right now, despite the fact that they're on fire. On your barrier, on fire, by the way. Okay, so it's going to bring up Lord Dormont, if he does anything at this point. And he's going to move. He's going to shift his position a little bit. Okay.
Holy crap, he's fast as fuck.
Yes, he is.
That's pretty fast.
And that's going to bring up Joel.
It's metric.
As I recall, Commander Pritchard has a bunch of military guys there. He's not just sitting there hostage, right? By himself.
Commander Pritchard is actually, again, maintaining the headquarters, and he is sending runners to each one of your groups back and forth, collecting information. He hasn't asked you to do anything, but he would have prepared you in advance, saying, if we're failing on this side, I'll let you know and ask for, maybe we need to shift positions or do whatever and this sort of thing. So that's kind of what he's doing. He's inside the tavern.
I haven't heard anything, so I'm just going to keep doing my job. And the undead are on fire. In a way, figuratively, Jolo's people are on fire as well, because they keep hitting with superpowers.
When they're inspired.
Should I inspire them again?
You have to do it every round.
Okay, I'm going to try a poem this time.
Haiku?
No, I should have done that, because that would have been way easier than a limerick. Apologies in advance. Maybe you can dub this over with a commercial or something. There were some undead in Remy. They looked like they were hit by a semi. I don't know what a semi is, but whatever. They all fell down dead. That's exactly what I said. Quick, we must kill them in a hurry. Not a perfect rhyme.
Hurry doesn't rhyme with Remy.
It's a soft rhyme.
That's not even a soft rhyme. That's just bad.
It wasn't terrible
I
though.
tried.
I would say
I
that
appreciate the effort.
you're rolling your inspire at disadvantage with that horrible poem.
All I'm saying is that a cleric does not study poetry, or at least does not study poetry.
Just roll. Let's see what happens.
What do I got? Like one of those D20s? Come on, baby. 8 plus 3. 11.
Great. Okay, 11. That's good enough. You feel
Because they're on fire.
you feel like a hooray, of uncertainty, but they're definitely inspired. And Dylan's like, oh god,
He's my speechwriter.
attack! Okay.
Shoot him.
Kill
All
the
right, make your
wabbit.
attack at advantage.
Kill the wabbit.
You know what? I was going to do a song next time, but just forget it.
All right. Thank God.
Ooh, that looks like a 18?
16. No, that's 18.
18 plus 2? It's 20.
Is it?
Wait. We got official results here.
Yeah, it's an 18.
Boy, large scale dice for the seeing impaired.
Listen, trifocals. I'm sorry, progressives.
God. Okay.
Listen, I
so
just
you
had a
hit.
birthday. I'm old.
My rhyme was a hit. I got it.
Yeah, and your hit was a hit. So roll your damage.
I'm gonna do maybe this. I feel it. 30.
Nice.
30. Okay. All right. Whittling them down little by little.
Plus, they're still burning too. So
Yeah, still unclear how many there are. Of course, as they're coming across the bridge. A few of them on their round, anyway. You'll see begin to fall through some of the wooden portions of the bridge. That's it for Jolo.
that's it for the undead, actually.
All right. So roll one final damage roll for burn. Burning as they get out of.
Killed these guys?
Yes,
Oh,
as
that's
they
mine.
get out of the pit.
20.
Okay. All right. So about what you did last time.
Exactly.
Keep it constant, very predictable.
Have my moments.
Okay.
When do they happen?
Not often.
All right. So a few of them are still burning as they come out of the pit, and they're not utilizing any other action, so other than just movement. So they're able to escape completely. That's it for them. So we're back at the top of the round with the group up here in front of Nihilus. Your second round of burning pitch. Go ahead and roll your damage for them on that as they attack your barrier.
That was a 6, so 60.
Wow, nice. Ooh, but they just fucked up your barrier. So the barrier is essentially no longer effective. As far as
They destroyed the thing in one round?
Yep, they destroyed the whole thing in one round. They had like the maximum roll they could make on that. It was huge. You said 60 points of damage?
Yep.
Okay.
It was huge. Really impressive damage.
Okay, so that wipes out that barrier, removing your additional armor bonus. I'm not even gonna worry about getting that thing out of there. Okay. And that's really as much as they can do, because That's it. All right. Right. So it's going to bring up the group last round of burning pitch damage for the group on you. Jolo, so go ahead and roll the damage on that.
50. That's a sick burn.
Wow, that is.
Jolo's fucking his guys up.
And I'm even changing dice, so it's not like one of these is high. I'm keeping it real.
And they're continuing to attack your barrier. Insignificant damage again. So yeah, they're getting to the point that
You got all the weenie skeletons on your bridge.
You know what? The Brothers Pew are just too powerful.
Is that
they're getting to
what
the point that you can see the gaps between them. They're not just a mass of undead coming towards you. With the way that they're moving from one, just moving all over the place, just because they're disoriented from the fire, falling over the bridge, still moving against the barrier, trying to destroy it and bring it down, but much less of an effective force than what it was when you first encountered them. And let's get in their turn. So Nightmare coming down further. Oh, there he is up there. Okay.
It really is coming toward.
And Nihilus, you're up.
That light.
No, my light's pointing westward.
He can still see it. He's a nightmare.
Okay, I'm gonna try to inspire them.
Okay.
14.
Okay, yes, you do. Although it seemed like they took a little bit more of an effort on your part to inspire your company. But they are inspired, so you have advantage. And the barrier is no longer there to protect you. So if you wanted to move into melee, it's up to you, or you can attack at range and move away. They're not next to you yet.
I'll still attack at range,
Okay.
which should be 19 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits.
And that was a 4, so 40 damage.
Okay. All right, so that's a good hit. And they have one more round. No, they're off the bridge completely. Nope, they're still.
No, they're still on it.
They're getting off the bridge. So they have one more round of fire damage on their turn, right?
Yeah.
Jolo's has pretty much dissipated. The rain is putting out most of the fire. So even though there's a little bit here and there, because it was a third round, on the bridge itself, it's not an effective fire against the entire force. So Hildy, you're up.
So real quick, Nihilus will move back 1 square.
Okay, move back. Directly back on the road?
Yep, right there.
Okay, got it. Right.
Okay. So Hildy is going to try and inspire her troops
Okay.
by not singing or poeming for them, but she might flash them if they throw her beads.
Oh, well, that just your DC big time.
She did not, in
Oh.
fact, inspire them.
Okay.
Well,
Absolutely
maybe
try next
she
time,
got an 8.
Madam.
You should try to limerick.
My guys are on fire too. Shut
Yeah,
up.
they're coming out of the pit, though. They've come out of the pit, though, and so the fire is not an effective.
Okay. So she is going to move 1 hex in that same direction she was going.
Continue around.
No, well, the one above it, it
Over
looks
here?
like. Yep.
Okay.
And hold her attack for when they come into range.
Okay. All right, gotta help.
Because there's a building there right now, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a building right here.
No, I meant the big horseshoe-shaped building. Yeah,
Yeah. So they would have to come around the edge of that.
right. So she's holding until they do.
Okay, gotcha.
And she's going to do the Nihilus thing. Hold! Hold!
All right. So then we have Lord Dormont
Rolo, we're doing great.
shouting down to his forces, facing Nihilus, and
Where is Dormont?
right here. Moving.
He's just about to eat you, it looks like.
Eat me? Wait, they're both coming toward me.
He's hovering. Still, now they both come down over this entire period to about half the elevation that they were earlier. So they're approximately 50 feet in the air. But they're still, a good distance from you. What?
I'm trying to calculate the hypotenuse. And
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to assume they're a couple hundred feet away from me.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to bring up your turn, John.
Okay, I can't do anything about them since they're so far away. I want to thin out. I want to thin the herd effectively.
Okay. Their fire is no longer effective, but you have your attack.
And I also have my inspiration.
You do.
And apparently my opponent...
You're still behind a barrier.
I am. Which may not help if I'm attacked from that way.
That's true.
I turn to Dylan because I want this to be a family inspiration. And I say, knock, knock.
Who's that?
We
who?
We will crush all of the enemies and have them driven before us.
Why do I participate in these things? Roll your dice.
My die.
Your die. Yeah.
Oh, the first bad one of the day. No, it's not the first bad one of the day. So I have 8. 5 plus 3.
8. No longer on fire. Your company's getting a little bit nervous, and so we're kind of back to base, which would have required a DC 10. You just missed that, and so there's a few little, but for the most part, they're all kind of getting a little bit nervous about what's about to happen next.
I've seen senators use knock-knock jokes on the floor, and it is arousing, so I don't know what happened.
Our country?
Yeah.
Okay. That's got to be a blooper reel. Okay, so make your attack.
With 1d20.
Yes.
I can do it. That's respectable. 15 plus 2 because I'm behind the barrier, right? No,
No, the 2 is for your
it's
AC.
arranged.
Yeah.
So 17.
Yes, arranged. So it still hits.
I didn't even need the knock-knock
Nope.
joke. Now I feel like a D4 is coming on.
Yeah, D4 plus your
3 times
Times
10
10.
is 30.
30. Okay.
It's hot. It's right there.
I'm creating a haiku for.
See, he's taking my advice. Everything's going to go perfectly now.
You didn't write it. You didn't do a haiku.
Well, we talked about it.
I talked about it.
Yeah, but I was there.
All right.
So as your arrows put more and more of them out of commission, the fire doing its damage, those that just simply fell over the side, and it seems like just passively as you watch them continuing to throw themselves against the barrier, the flames dissipating. It's probably, as far as you can tell, it looks like about half as many as there were when they started. So this great bulk of creatures is the ground is just covered with the dead of the undead.
Would it make it difficult terrain for them?
Well, how about anything else from Dolan?
He's just going to kind of stare up at the nightmare and the king who never was and say, oh, this isn't good.
What? No. So that brings up the last one that's chasing Hildy. And they are going to follow you. So you can go ahead and use your held action, if you like. Oops. Okay. And no luck. Okay, so they were a little bit early. Most of the arrows hit the corner of the building as they're coming around.
Yeah, I would be lucky if they had hit the building.
Yeah. Or just arcing up in the air into the darkness. Okay, so they are continuing to move. They're slower. Okay, so that's it for them, and then that brings us to the top of the round for number 3. Now your barrier's gone, and the flames. Last round was the last round of the flames, right?
No, this is the last round.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage as they exit the flames.
50.
50. Okay, all right, not bad.
Hurry up and kill yours so I can bring mine over there.
I've been smacking them around. They're still half there.
Well,
Actually, I'm an optimist. They're half gone. Or how's that work with the army? Is it different than the glass sphere?
no.
Oh. Well, anyway, there's a lot of them still.
Yeah.
Moving the wrong stupid tokens. Get those out of the way.
I think if I just shot them twice as many times, that would have been
Okay, they move into melee position and they make an attack. The undead, they're just coming forward in mass at your company.
At his barrier.
No, they destroyed his barrier.
Oh, his barrier's gone?
Yeah, they destroyed it. They destroyed it in one massive hit.
Oh,
As
nice.
they rolled over it, and now
You're
they
dead.
have-
No, not
now they're
me, Nihilus.
within melee, but
Oh.
no effective damage as their initial attack fails. So that's it for them, and then the group on this bridge still trying to hit this, still focusing on this barrier that they're trying to get over,
That's where I was talking about.
and this time they do some damage.
that's the problem.
Is it?
Ooh, and literally demolish the entire thing in one. I mean, it was damaged before, but they just finished it off. Keep grabbing the wrong tokens. So they're right in here. And that's it for them.
Oh, so they died. So that's it for them?
No, I mean, they're still alive.
Oh, I thought they got like a splinter or something.
Nice. Do you get
Okay.
it? Do you get tetanus from a splinter? I think
Well-
it's from a nail.
They're probably nails holding the barricade together, though, right?
I don't know.
If we're using fire, I mean, you'd think there'd be some metal.
Why? What does fire have to do with metal?
Well, you wouldn't want it all to be wood, would you? Wouldn't that weaken or make things expand?
I don't know. I'm not a bridge builder.
Okay, we're gonna check Wikipedia.
So, trying to keep an eye on the glowing figures that have grown larger and larger from the darkness in the distance to nearly on top of you. You note that the flaming figure, which you know is a nightmare, has descended entirely and moved forward towards your position. Now you can't see it at all. It's below and behind a building, behind roof level. Below roof level and behind a building, and just through the sound of the rain and the thunder that's still beating down, and the growling of the figures all around, the cries of the men as they charge forward, you hear this coming closer and closer through the mud. Nihilus, you're up.
Okay, I'll attempt to inspire again.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
Wow. Okay. Good. The DC's gone a bit higher because they are like on you. But make your attack. Advantage.
Uh, 16?
Oh yeah, 16 hits.
For 30 points.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, despite the fact that you had a really rough start, you're thinning out their ranks. They're not down. I mean, you can kind of see in all the light, that's around. The light's not going out now in the village where they pass. Whatever effect that was, it seems to have ended once they entered the village. So you can see everything clearly. And although their numbers aren't down to half yet, you've definitely put a hurt on them. Okay, so
If do we get opportunity attacks if we move? Does that work in this situation?
yeah, it would. Unit on unit.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay. All right. So Hildy, you're up.
Okay. Through the driving rain, Hildy somehow managed to hear Jolo's fervent poem, and she's going
Knock knock joke also.
and the knock knock joke.
Yeah.
That was bad.
But no joke. I implore you, don't do the knock joke.
She's
Rolo.
she's going to she's going to use a haiku to inspire her men.
Oh,
I've inspired you! It's
not help
great!
We may die tonight, the undead gnawing our bones, if you don't kill them. Nat 20.
oh,
See?
They loved it. They loved it.
thank you. They did. All right. Wow, that's pretty. Yeah.
So my men are now inspired.
And women. You
And
have
women.
there too.
Oh, and we're going to
Equal opportunity undead killers.
shoot with advantage.
All right.
And yet somehow
No.
10 was my high.
10. Even with all your... No.
Yes, that was with my +2.
No. So once again...
All right,
Yeah,
no
just
castle.
had them too hyped up with that haiku, and they just, went to pieces. But good try. All right. Anything else from Hildy?
Yes, of course. We're going to keep moving
All right. Where do you want to go?
Okay. down towards Jolo. We're going to save him. Both hexes. There you go.
We're going to work together.
It's something like that, or die together.
One step ahead.
That's the plan.
All
I will
right. So Lord Dormont.
Lead them all around this damn town.
Lord Dormont has taken a sudden shift in movement. All of you can still, if you're looking, can still see him. He's still about 50, 60 feet in the air. That's as close as he's gotten to the ground. And Joel, you're up.
So, I can't see the nightmare. Just, it's...
No. I mean, you have an idea where it went down behind the building, probably 50, 100 feet away from you, around the corner, down the road.
And the other unit is right on top of me. So if I moved away, I'd get hurt. I'd have to disengage or something. Otherwise,
Yeah, you have
that's
to
gonna
use
be
your
a bad
action to
day.
disengage. Yeah.
I think I am going to disengage.
Okay.
And I'm going to run away as fast as I can.
You gonna head for Commander Pritchard?
No, because that would take me through the nightmare and probably through... Well, I wouldn't know about anyone else, but certainly through the nightmare, and I don't want to do that. I want to head east, and I'm going to say, Hildy obviously has a situation to control with Rollo, so I know that fortification is still standing.
Okay, so you're moving here?
I believe I get...
You get two,
Two,
if you want, yeah. So you want to continue directly east or in another direction? Now, I mean, as soon as you make that initial movement, you see the nightmare. Of course, you're 100 men.
Mhm.
And you see this flaming horse 50 feet away heading towards you, just a little bit off the ground. So deduct from that what you like. And what direction would you like to go with your second hex? Continue straight line or...
I'm going to stay away from him, so I guess that'd be southeast.
Yeah,
kind of?
down to there. So you're kind of moving along the side of the building.
I assume I can keep going on that outer ring. Fair assessment?
Yeah, you're just the way the hexes are kind of goofy, but
Is that just like a field in front of him?
That was my question.
yes, he's in a field.
Maybe you could get in the middle and light it on fire and kill all the
There's
undead.
another big field. There's a
I would be in the
crop
middle.
front of you.
There's that.
Okay, is that it for Jolo then?
I hope not. Oh, I thought you meant, is it? No, okay. Yeah, I used my action.
Yep.
I don't get to do anything else. So.
Nope. Okay. All right, so it brings us to...
Oh, wait. I get to do an individual. No,
Yeah,
far
you do an
away.
individual.
But the nightmare is still 50 feet away.
It's, a little more than that. So it's if you have a range of anything
I
like
can do-
75 feet.
Yeah, I can do a guiding bolt. How about that?
Okay.
That's a range of 120 feet.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of new to Jolo. He hasn't done this before. But I can make a ranged spell attack against the target. And on a hit, it'll take 4d6 radiant damage. So that sounds pretty good.
The attack.
Let's see, d20.
This is your spell attack bonus.
It's 12, and I've got a +5 hit. Spell attack is +5.
Okay,
So
yeah, you hit it. You see this charging flaming horse coming towards you, gets hit with this radiant energy, and just kind of rears up as it takes the damage. What's your damage?
I only have 3d6. I'm going to have to reroll one of them. Wow, that's not so good. 4 plus 6, that's 10.
10. Okay, 10 points of damage on the creature. I mean, it definitely cries in pain. You know that, unlike the undead, it feels the pain of the radiant energy you just cast into it, just loaded over it. right? That's it, right?
Yeah, no more horsing around.
Okay, and so yes, this unit that is pursuing Hildy.
We got this.
We got this. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
And then back at the top of the round with the one on top that is engaged with Nihilus' company, making a melee attack against them. Ooh, net 20.
Oh,
Okay, so they hit. And how much damage they do against your unit? Oh, 90 points of damage against your company from that one attack. And that's it for that group.
have we heard any messengers yet?
Yeah,
Maybe-
and the messengers are coming back and forth. So you know the positions of the other companies. You know what's happening with them. You know that Nihilus is engaged with a group up north. You know that Hildy is basically doing a retreat action. So that's the thing that Commander Pritchard is really giving you the benefit of the doubt. Benefit of is that you know what's happening everywhere else around you, and they do too. So.
But he hasn't told us what to do yet. He hasn't said.
No, he hasn't said do this or do that. At this point, what would he tell you to do?
Come back to the center and protect me.
Run away, run away. No, but yeah, so, and he's even giving you the information on, as far as he can see, where Lord Dormont is. At this point, he can't see the nightmare either, so you might get a message here, I don't know what the nightmare was, but, so. But Nihilus and Hildy might not. Okay, so the one attacking you is going to move right up with you there. Jolo, your group. Whoops.
That would give me +2 AC if I moved up to.
If they took the barrier that they destroyed and rebuilt it in front of you?
Yeah.
No. So I'm making a melee attack against you. And that's 17. Okay, so they hit.
It's
And
not good.
20 points of damage to your company. And that ends their turn. The nightmare.
20 points?
Yes. Nightmare is
How do you use a
rising into the
calculator?
air about 30 feet. And, oops. Guess that's where he has to go now. I'm trying to get him above this building. Literally above the building, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, and that brings up Nihilus.
I'll try to inspire and attack again.
Okay.
You got this.
17.
It hits.
Or to inspire, 17, sorry.
Oh, inspire, yes. That's enough to inspire your group. So you're attacking advantage.
Well, tit for tat, that was a nat 20 on damage.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I rolled a 3 and a 4, so 70.
70, holy shit. They are just almost at half strength at this point. You've really whittled them down quite a bit.
You must have had a much
All
smaller
that and
than
the-
Jolo.
They're not even half after all that?
Yeah.
Remember, they've got
Wow.
like 10,000 people. We've got 100 farmers
And a provisional knight.
and a provisional knight
Not sergeant, don't forget sergeant.
and a sergeant.
Right. Anything else from
Retired.
Nihilus' group?
No, he's just super mad that the bridge didn't collapse with the weight of 10,000 undead marching across it.
It's just they destroyed that barrier so quick. Okay,
That's
so
it.
it brings up Hildy.
Okay. Hildy's going to inspire again. Says, "You don't want me to do another poem, do you?"
I kind of do.
They are as far from inspired as
No!
as one could be.
We want Jolo!
So we will try to attack and then move.
Okay.
Remember,
And
guys,
then move.
P.O. box 1 2 no dice. It was just my birthday. Yeah, I missed badly. So, crap.
I mean, just paying attention to what's behind you, because
Yeah.
obviously you would be.
Yeah,
can
there's a
see
giant nightmare there.
Yeah, but again, it's a singular horse versus
Yeah.
a company of.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Jolo or Pritchard? You know what? We got to do it. We've committed to saving my Jolo, so we're going to keep going in that direction.
Okay. Following along the roadway then?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Ever closer.
I just hope it's attacking you. No offense. But, I mean, if one of us has to die, it should definitely be you.
no.
Okay.
Even Nihilus is nodding. Or Josh. Sorry, Josh. I get the two of them confused. Josh looks a lot like Nihilus.
Nihilus is the blue one.
I mixed those up.
So, any of you that are paying attention to what Lord Dormont's doing, is he gets to the Temple of Suna, hovering, just if I can get him on it. There we go.
Oh, no.
As he hovers above the Temple of Suna, he's, again, about 50 feet in the air, just above the top of the dome. And you see the entire temple begins to glow with this bright, radiant light. And then Jolo combusts in this bright, radiant light. Now you can see the full extent of this bright light that emanates from him when this happens. The light that is almost daylight, or more than daylight actually, it's brighter than daylight, extends out at least 300 feet around him. 150 foot radius, essentially. So it's bright and it extends a long direction. And then beyond that, even further with a dimmer amount of light. So effectively about a 600 foot light spell, essentially. But a little bit brighter. And of course he disappears and all you see is just this massively bright core. To you, everything's normal except everything just lit up. You know you're lit up. You know this has happened. You just feel, it's like now you're starting to feel the tingling sensation, the euphoria that's coming with it. Before it's just very confusing. Now it's almost like a divine feeling where you feel Suna, and you've never had this experience before, but the closest you could relate is your assumption is that this is what it feels like to have Suna work through you. And boom, you just explode into daylight. The undead around you seem to be affected in a fairly significant way. They don't appear to be taking damage, but what they do appear to they appear to be diverting their undead eyes. They seem to have some loss of focus because of your proximity and what has just happened, as the entire night is just lit up for them.
The horse is in your 150 foot too. Maybe he won't attack you this time. Maybe he'll run away.
You mean toward Hildy?
No, he's still gonna kill you. I'm just saying.
And that brings up your turn. You can't see Lord Dormont anymore in the bright light that is now covering the dome of Suna, separately from you.
I'm going to assume my men are not being blinded.
Oh yeah, they're blinded too.
So they can be useful.
You're the only one. No, I mean they can still attack. They're attacking at disadvantage. So unless you inspire them,
Which should just be a normal attack.
and it'd be a normal attack.
Perhaps another poem.
No, I'm thinking if I theoretically, and no, I can't see the map perfectly. If I disengage and I go east, theoretically, go east twice, how far would I be from Nightmare?
Well, the Nightmare's about 50 feet in the air over a building, and so that would put you within 50 feet up, and then another 75 feet away.
Okay, that's not going to work out for me then.
You could go right at it.
No, I'm gonna go for the undead. They're kind of blinded by my awesomeness. I'm gonna first inspire my troops, and I'm gonna tell them that It's not going to be a knock-knock joke, but I'm going to tell them who's here. Sooner. And this light is proof that we will be victorious.
So you'll be able to roll your inspiration at advantage as you light up. There's just this, and speak those words. I mean, everyone is just like astounded at what has just happened.
You got this.
Snake eyes. No, 16 plus 3, I think. Christmas, that's
Yep.
19.
Okay, 19. Yes, they're inspired.
Very inspired.
They're
highly
hard to inspire them. And so, as your company is inspired, what are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot arrows.
Oh, shoot arrows. You're within melee range. What? The nightmare? Or are you going? So you're abutted to.
You're right next to your guys.
Yeah.
You're back there.
Okay, I'm not going to shoot. I'm just going to be offensive as usual then, I guess.
Well, you can do a melee attack. And
I thought he meant Adam.
So you can do a melee attack against him if you want, or even because you were at advantage, you're no longer at disadvantage. Because of the light. Just make a straight roll on a melee attack. If you do go forward with the range attack at this range, then it's going to cancel out your advantage, disadvantage, and be disadvantage.
Okay, let's go melee.
Okay.
Come on. Come on. That looks pretty good. It's not even looking. What's that say?
18.
18.
That's a hit. Roll the damage. We're almost at the end of the round, and then we're going to take our into the turn order, and then we're going to take our break.
I'm glad that 2 out of the 3 of us are able to hit their target. Nice.
30.
30 points.
Okay. Oops.
So that takes them down to 0. Dead if I check my math.
It's a few less than what it was a moment ago. Okay, their combat effectiveness is certainly being affected, assuming that they're not inspired every round. But Lord Dormont has disappeared into the light. Anything else from Jolo?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, so the last in the turn order is Hildy's group. And they're coming forward, really just moving in pursuit of Hildy. 1, 2, let's go put them there. Yep. And just kind of lumbering after you. They don't have quite the movement you have, but they're lumbering after you. They don't
They're the
have
same.
the range, so. Okay, so it's going to bring it to the top of the order, and we will get to that, the second half of this battle, when we come back. See what's going on with Lord Dormont, the temple, Jolo, all lit up again. The undead closing in on Hildy, and
I don't like that part.
who knows? Who knows what could take place between in the next few rounds? So we'll see. Anyway, see you guys in about 10 minutes.
I am scared.
Okay, welcome back, everyone, as we continue with the battle for the village of Remy. Nihilus' company is engaged with a battered but still fully mobile group of undead up in the northwest portion of the village. Down in the southwest portion of the village, Jolo has put up a good fight, and his brother put up a good fight with their company against the Undead Horde that are approaching from that direction, moving them further into the city in both counts, while Hildy and Rollo are kiting their undead foes in closer to potentially consolidate with another company of allies within the village. While this has been taking place, the Nightmare is now hovering over one of the nearby buildings on the southern side of the village and observing or preparing to do whatever it's preparing to do on that end, while Lord Dormont has moved to a position above the Temple of Suna, which has basically combusted into light, which maybe coincidentally has also we have Jolo combusting into light at the same time. So Lord Dormont is no longer visible because of the light over the temple, and as is Jolo, who has now disappeared within his bright light that extends out 300 feet or more into the darkness, making everything daylight around him. And we pick up at the top of the round with the undead forces that are pressing Nihilus' company, making a melee attack against him and his group. Ineffective, but able to do any significant damage against his group, and not disengaging or moving away, staying with Nihilus to continue the attack. And then down in the southwest portion against Jolo and his company with Dylan, the undead group making an attack against them, and also ineffective attack. And it brings up the Nightmare, who is moving down.
Poor Jolo.
Tell me about it.
Maybe it won't hurt that much.
What is it?
The Nightmare about to trample you into the mud.
Moving down to ground level, but just a few feet above it, and moving up and around one of the internal circles of roadways within the village, and that's going to bring up Nihilus. So he's at this point, it looks like the creature is moving away from you both along the road. Nihilus, what are you going to do?
So Dormont moved to the Temple of Suna. He touched the golden dome, and then everything just turned super bright where he was.
You didn't necessarily touch it. You just saw him above it, and then the entire temple just exploded in light. It didn't explode, but just light erupted around it, and it's still like a dome of light over it.
Did we get the feeling it was like a defensive from the temple itself?
You've never seen anything like this.
Have I seen anything like this?
Well, I've seen something
Yes,
like
you
it.
have. The closest thing you have seen is what has happened to Jolo on now 3 or 4 occasions. So it's very interesting. So,
Okay, Nihilus is going to try to inspire,
okay,
and that's 14.
okay, you do so.
Alright, he's just going to melee attack.
All right.
Oh my goodness, I wish I had a camera. That's another nat 20.
Wow. Roll your damage, sir.
Literally the exact same thing. A nat 20 and then a 3 and a 4, so 70.
Okay. All right. So with that attack, you get the impression that they're down to about half strength.
And then do they do half damage at half strength?
Yeah. Any unit that's at half strength would be subject to half the amount of damage that they normally would. Anything else from Nihilus in his group?
No, he's going to hold his ground. He hasn't heard otherwise, so he's going to stay there.
Okay. And Hildy, you're up. Things are getting
Inspire.
tight for you.
Huh?
Things are getting tight for you.
Yeah. Not looking great. Gonna try and inspire. That didn't work. So we'll try.
Work on that.
We'll try a ranged attack.
Rolo, maybe you should talk to them.
Oh, there you go. 17.
17 hits.
Yay.
30 points.
Okay. Not terrible. So,
That should be your nickname.
Not terrible.
Yeah. Call you NT.
In one of my games, I have a king. His name is Ivan the Tolerable.
tolerable.
Well, I'm gonna continue following that road I'm on.
Okay. So that can put you up here on either side, I guess. Basically,
Yeah.
well, you got the building there, so you're essentially there. Okay. And
We just need to say, keep one hex in between us and them, and we'll be all right.
Lord
Yeah, I
Dormont
can't do that.
is still not visible, and you have no idea what's going on with that situation. So I was going to bring up Jolo. You're not hearing his voice shouting down to his undead followers like you were when he was just out and about moving around. He was constantly shouting to them in this, ancient language. Jolo, what are you doing?
We've got to keep pressing the attack. The others maybe aren't as well coordinated as we are, or as good looking, or as humorously inclined. So we need to take out the enemy now before we go on and assist our brethren in defending this town. That's my inspirational
Shit,
speech.
was actually pretty good. Wow.
I don't even have to
More
roll
like
for it,
that.
right?
Going more like that. Yeah.
So I don't have to roll for charisma then, do I?
You do, but you're still rolling an advantage
Oh, I am.
because you are lit up like a Christmas tree, and these guys
2-1. 2-1.
are really inspired by that.
19?
Nice.
There you go. So they are inspired, which will help with your just making it a flat roll, since still lit up, still all that light that's just affecting their ability to see well.
Get him.
Get him. Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Roll your-
You're on par with
I got a
Josh.
witness.
You're on par with Josh
Yeah,
tonight.
but I'm actually rolling these.
What abuse you're taking over there, Josh? What's the damage?
He didn't roll yet.
I'll roll 2 of these guys.
Nice.
3 and 3 is 660.
60 points.
All right.
Josh did more damage than you.
It's not a contest.
Kind of is.
It's cumulative.
Kind of is.
And actually, you guys have, over the entire span, have done about the same amount of damage.
I don't want to take credit personally. It's my troops who have performed superlatively. Right, Dylan?
Yes, and of course, what would you expect?
Hildy's troops, on the other hand.
Yeah. What's up with her?
Hey,
Well, no, they're not your troops.
That's right. It's Rolos.
Freaking Rolo, man.
I'm just an advisor.
Are you staying where you are?
Well, I can't disengage because I already used
Right,
an action.
but you can still
So,
move if you. Okay, you stick there.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, these guys are just continuing to lumber after you. Still,
Question is,
their movement is not quite as quick as yours. So that's why you haven't seen them taking like dashes. That's not happening for them. So they are a little bit slower. I mean, it's obvious the way that they're trying to lumber up to meet you.
do I go up to Pritchard or down to Jolo?
You're the advisor. I can't advise the advisor.
Okay, so that's it for them. We're at the top of the round again with the group. Okay, against Nihilus. Making a melee attack as before. Again, ineffective. They're just not able to penetrate your defenses, Nihilus. Staying where they are.
I'd like to think I rubbed off on him.
They're really kind of
Metaphorically.
buildings. They can't go anywhere anyway.
Hildy wants to rub off on Jolo.
Yes. Now your group is shifting around a little bit. They're kind of like trying to find a different way, a different point of attack against you. As they make another melee attack, this time they hit
Oh,
and do 30 points of damage cumulatively. 30, yep. And that's it for them. Now, the Nightmare is rushing toward the center of the city. It's about at the point those that you can see. Maybe Jolo can get an idea that it's rushing up just past the tavern where Commander Pritchard is right now, toward the center of town. Now, we are at Nihilus. Nihilus, as you begin your turn, you get your first directive from Commander Pritchard. And it's some startling news. He's giving you, with this messenger, he's giving you information about additional undead that are entering the village. And he's directing you, commanding you, ordering you to make your way as quickly as possible with your company back toward the center of the city, and make a stand at the Temple of Suna. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put these, because all of you are getting this message on your turn from the messengers that are being sent out. So I'm going to...
We're all hearing that we should go, or that Natalie should go?
Well, no. You're all getting the same message on your turn of where the undead are approaching the village, and that you should retreat back and make, a stand at the Temple of Suna.
You remember the really cool video intro thing going on? You remember it mentions the word apocalypse?
Apocalypse, I think, just means change in Greek.
I don't speak Greek, so it means we're going to get our lunches handed to us here.
Oh, good. I'm hungry.
Well, you're going to be eating undead knuckle sandwiches in a minute.
As long as I'm not eating crow, I should be okay.
Yeah.
It seems that Lord Dormont is a little bit more creative than he was given the benefit of. So, Nihilus, what are you doing?
Well, I guess if he told us to make haste, I'll action to disengage and then run as far or fast as I can towards the temple.
Okay, so you'll move your full movement down the road toward the temple. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and you couldn't necessarily see you could probably see the temple, considering how big it is and the dome of light that's over it. That has not changed as you make your way as quickly as you can in that direction. Okay, Hildy.
This is not how I thought Hildy was going to die in this campaign. I assumed it would be my own stupid mistake, but okay. We're going to go for the good old inspire. No, because why now in the clutch would she be able to inspire?
You didn't write a poem.
That's what it is.
Now, word is spreading.
Yeah, you know what? When I did my haiku, that was my one inspiration that worked.
See?
All right, we're going to shoot and move.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. 16?
16 hits.
All right. 10 points. Didn't hit well, it just hit.
Okay.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which direction keeps them off my ass?
Still not a poem. Well, it's free verse, I guess.
I'm going to go in the same direction I've been going so I can follow that main road up to the temple.
Okay, so we'll put you right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking down the street, you're close enough to see...
that Jolo has matters well in hand.
Yes, that. And you see Commander Pritchard is no longer... He's out in the street. And you see him engaged with the Nightmare.
Kill that thing!
There are various young men that are his messengers that are just kind of taking cover and trying to stay out of the way of this battle that's taking place. He's swinging his broadsword at it. It's rising up and trying to hit him with his flaming hooves. It's unclear who's got the advantage in this battle. Okay.
I would imagine a giant flaming horse always has the advantage.
All right, still nothing from Lord Dormont. Jello, you're up.
I don't want to disengage, but I'd like to move toward that main road, like rotate counterclockwise around the army. Does that make sense?
We can't move between Hildy and the. So the only. Are you talking about going over here?
No, I want to go closer to the town. But you're saying I can't?
No, but you can't go between. Wait, that's not. That's a building. So you can if you're moving away from them, you can move here if that's what you're after.
That doesn't seem to be helping me very much. Okay, well.
Well, if you do that though, do they get an opportunity attack if he moves away?
Well, that's why I said I didn't want to. I just want to rotate around. But if the building is blocking me, I'm just going to stay where I am.
Well, what if you disengage and move there? Then you don't get an up.
I'm getting closer.
Then, no, if you disengage, then that means they can't attack you with an attack function. Using your action to disengage.
But then they're not any weaker, so why would I want to do that?
All right.
Yeah.
No, I mean they just.
So you're just going to stay and fight?
I'm going to stay and fight. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Cool. So you've received the same message, by the way, but you know that there's undead approaching, and you know that Commander Pritchard was ordering all units to the center of the city. So it's up to you.
But instead you chose to stay and fight.
I'm acting in good faith, attacking the enemy, and I can't really get much closer because of that stupid building over there. So I'm going to have
All right.
a talk with the city planner. Is he in my group?
No.
Okay, so then instead of talking to him, I'm going to use an action
It might
to
take some time to figure out who that might be.
to inspire my men.
Okay.
And
Still at advantage.
yeah,
You got this. There you go.
16 plus
Plus your 3.
Yeah,
That's enough.
3D.
Okay, so. Alright, so that makes a straight attack for you against the undead.
Your men have been inspired all day.
I really have been. I'm going to use my offensive, my melee attack,
Okay.
my melee weapon,
Somebody likes Jolo.
and I'm going to roll 1d20, and it's going to say
That's the opposite way you needed to roll. That's as far in the opposite way as you could get,
That
actually.
one.
Well, it depends on how do you define a nat 1?
A 1 on the dice.
Then yes. Yes, that's what it was.
Okay. We're going to roll your 30. You haven't rolled a 30 on a nat 1 all night, so let's do it.
I've never rolled a d30, I don't think. No, I got the stomach ache once, right?
A 1!
Is it?
Wow.
Oh,
That probably can't be good.
that I feel like I've canceled out all of my good progress.
That's
so far.
probably as far from good as you can get.
So right now, you, for whatever reason, you have chaos within your ranks, and that's going to give you disadvantage on any further in your next turn on saves, attacks, your against your inspiration, anything. So you may be able to cancel it out still, with that, because that'll turn your advantage on inspiration to just a flat roll. But you've got some chaos going on in the ranks right now. They're not sure what to do. They were going to go around the building, then they were going to not disengage, and they were going to stay there and fight. Then they made the attack, they missed, they were inspired, but it didn't work out. So just a lot of confusion.
You're
Dylan's
so
like,
lucky.
what the fuck are you doing?
It's always darkest before the dawn, people. We got this.
You're so lucky.
Dark. Okay.
I think a sinkhole should have just swallowed your whole army.
We're not in Orlando.
2 1s?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Literally as bad as it could get.
We call that the Mike effect.
Is that what we call it?
Yeah.
I don't have snake eyes. I have big, beautiful blue eyes.
So last unit is still pursuing you, just following behind, and the other ones will be rolling into initiative on this next turn as we reach the top of the round. Top of the round going to the one that's been after Nihilus the whole time, moving 1, 2. Okay, making its melee attack against you. Hits. As they pursue, 20 points of damage. And that's as much as they're going to do. And then down here, still attacking Jolo's group at disadvantage because of the light misses. So No issue there. The Nightmare is still at play against Commander Pritchard, and I'm just going to leave them on the same initiative roll so they can attack each other. You're seeing, those that can see him, he'll be, I guess, has the best view. This knight is putting up a hell of a fight, as he has struck the Nightmare for some very significant injury. You can see that it has lost a leg. One of his forelegs are missing, just kind of on the ground, still flaming and sizzling. But the creature is almost desperately trying to attack him. And it's landed a few blows, so you can see like dents and scorches all over his beautiful white armor. His cloak, gold fringed cloak, just flipping backwards violently with the back and forth of the attacks. Also seeing little licks of flame kind of produced on it as it's gotten in the way.
As this is happening, do I hear him praising Jolo for weakening this creature prior to the attack?
No, not really. I mean, just passively, he's probably the last thing that he's thinking about at this point. But sadly, what's happened is that there are no more messages being filtered out and flowed, so you don't know anything more than what you knew the last round. Okay, Nihilus.
Oh wait, do all those other guys get to move in a little closer?
They're coming in. Oh, I missed 2 of them.
Might as well make our life a little harder.
Well, I would have moved them all together in the end until it mattered. But, okay.
It's looking grim, folks. Let's hope this episode ends sooner. We might.
Okay.
It's going to end permanently.
Alright, Nihilus, sure.
Alright, he hasn't changed his determined route yet, so he's going to disengage and go his full speed closer to the temple.
Okay. Okay, so at this point, you would also be able to see as you enter what was once the marketplace has just been totally cleared out. The dome is still lit up, and no sign of Lord Dormont. And you see this epic battle taking place between the Nightmare and Commander Pritchard. You can see from your angle, Hildy and her company, Rollo, moving up the opposite roadway toward the center, and probably not much of a view of what's happening with Jolo and the rest, because they're going to be way out of view anyway. So that's it for Nihilus.
Am I able to move into that instead? To move into that hex that's south of him?
Right here? This one?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, yeah. One, 2, yes. Alright. So we got 2 more these units moving in closer.
I think the part where I messed up was rolling the low numbers.
Do you think that had something to do with it?
Yeah, I had my calculator out. I was just, running the numbers.
You should roll higher next time.
Hildy, what are you doing?
Hildy's gonna mix things up. She's gonna inspire her men.
Do it, Hildy.
10.
Yeah, no.
Delusions of adequacy over here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, with charisma that's 11.
Okay, I'll give it to you. All
right.
They are inspired.
Okay, and Hildy has reluctantly forced herself to admit that her men can't shoot for shit. So we are going to run up and attack the Nightmare from behind.
Okay, so your company's rushing the Nightmare.
And that's
engaged
attacking
with
at
Commander
advantage.
Pritchard. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
the advantage you said?
That was that advantage. So one of them was a 1, and the other one was a 2.
Oh no.
So
The one was lower.
we didn't hit the Nightmare probably.
Not with any sense. You guys just tripped all over yourselves. Probably.
So by now everyone forgot
A lot of fear.
what I did.
Even though there's a whole bunch of you charging this thing, ineffective as it's able to dodge your attack. Is that it for Hildy?
Yes, her action was to inspire, so yes.
Okay. Now these guys are closing in, which you would presume they are anyway. Okay. So at this point, you see the dome, the light over the dome begin to diminish.
Oh no.
And there is Lord Dormont, literally standing on top of the gold dome. He's standing there with his sword out. He's still spectral in that regard. And you hear an excited whinny from the nightmares as it realizes it sees its master as well. And feeling inspired as it doubles its attack, Curiosity against Commander Pritchard. And Lord Dormont begins to speak and call out as he turns and looks and calls out to the forces that you know are approaching. Jolo, your turn. Your light goes out as well. Immediately.
I don't know that. Right? I can't see the light.
No, you can see it.
Well, you would see it reflecting off everything else.
Yeah. It's just
Oh,
it's
I
like you
can.
just it's like daylight to you. All
Okay.
around you.
Well, that sucks. You know what? We pretty much decimated the army next to us. They're on their last guy, like the guy from the canteen. So I don't want to. After the debacle from the city planner, I just want to move on with my life. So I'm going to disengage and run toward with my unit. Run toward the city center,
Okay. All right, so you're disengaging.
and I'm going to curse that building as I run past it.
Smaller buildings you can move around, but that takes up the entire hex. All right,
So that was my action. That was my movement. That was
Right.
2 hexes.
right.
Yeah.
Now going there, pretty much puts you right next to the undead. I mean, you're probably maybe surprised as you come around the corner and find yourself face to face with another horde of undead.
At full strength.
But they're chasing me. No, not full strength. We hit them.
Mostly full.
Mostly.
They got like a scratch on the
Mostly full.
nameplate or something.
To be fair, they definitely look more intimidating than the one you just left behind.
That's
To be fair, I didn't have a bridge.
that you had a road.
Yeah, a road. A big one. And they didn't even walk on it. They came through the woods.
Until he turns their company to attack Jolo. Okay. Right. So
How far am I from the nightmare? I'm like pretty far out, right?
yeah, you've got an undead, a group of undead between you and it.
About 200 feet.
Yeah. So
That's the problem.
right, so you disengage and use your movement. So that's going to end there. The undead, if they could show some glee, surprise, excitement, just an overall emotion of being thrilled at seeing you just conveniently pop around the corner right within their range, they immediately engage you.
I'm engaged.
Wait.
Huh?
Can we make a random roll? They were technically pursuing Hildy.
Yes, but when they saw the other things they could eat
I
show up right next.
tried.
How did they see me if the light went out?
Because he said the town is still lit by torches.
Yeah, you're like within.
Who's setting you on?
Well, right now I want to see what happened to Jolo, so I'm kind of
right next to them.
I made my shot. I was like, maybe they're chasing me. Didn't
Yeah,
work.
it's like there's a hamburger way over there, but then a hamburger shows up here, and it's just as a hamburger. That gets chased.
Veggie burger. Veggie burger.
Whatever. They'll
Gluten free.
Did they see my clothing and smell?
Oh, they'll have to cook you first, probably. Okay. Oh,
Goose is
but I
cooked.
guess their surprise limits their reaction because they don't do any effective damage on you.
And then I turn to Hilda and I say, "These are the guys that were beating you."
They haven't beat
I'll
me.
just firmly position them in that
In the
spot.
process.
Hildy's men are untouched, unlike yours.
I don't believe it. Hildy's men are untouched.
Okay. All right. Hildy's men are not untouched, but Hildy's company has not been harmed by undead. How's that?
Okay, that's a little bit more realistic.
Okay, so we're at the top of the round again with the undead pursuing Nihilus' company.
And it looks like there's a building between us, no?
What? It's a tiny little building that you're kind of occupying its hex, and so it's not an effective barrier, really. But they're just swarming around it as they're attacking, but they miss anyway, badly. So maybe that was the reason why they did so shockingly terrible at trying to make an attack against you. And then the next one, moving up. We'll take on Jolo
Weaker ones?
from behind. Okay, so they're making a melee attack against you as you now have two groups of undead, courtesy of Hildy and her company.
Thanks, Hildy.
We have a Jolo sandwich. They do hit.
Sometimes things happen.
Ooh. 10 points of damage. It was a rather ineffective hit, so not much. Can't forget about the undead groups. I gotta move. This one.
I think I'm in trouble here.
You think?
Can I use thaumaturgy somehow? Like, if I shake the ground, they'll all fall down like bowling pins?
Maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, then we got the Nightmare and Commander Pritchard still going at it. Oh, Nightmare stumbles, falls prone, and is just trying to get up. Oh, Commander Pritchard with one swell boop just strikes down with his amazingly beautiful broadsword. Obviously a masterwork. You see it glowing, this bluish electric illumination.
We should steal
It
that.
just sparks and crackles as he brings it down, and he watches he cleaves the entire head off the Nightmare with
Nice.
one strike, and the flames just immediately begin to diminish. You watch as the thing turns to ash and just dust flying up in the air, and even in the night, you watch as this blacker than black ash just rise and just move out like a cloud in every direction. Even Commander Pritchard just surprised as his blade moves through it. No blood, no gore, as the head hits the ground and then dissipates into the ash.
I hope Dormont cries.
Jolo's gonna cry out, "Teamwork!"
That, by the way, folks, was a nat 1 with the Nightmare versus a nat 20 for Commander
Nice.
Pritchard in that quick little final moment of
Big
the
fan.
Nightmare's life.
Big
Yeah,
fan.
so he's gone. Okay. All right, so Nihilus.
So it looks like my company's right up against Pritchard. Did he acknowledge us at all? Did he issue any commands seeing us approach?
Well, he just decapitated this Nightmare, so his focus is right there at the moment, not really, paying attention. But he's there, but he won't inhibit your movement. You can move through him, if you want, because he's just one man in that big space.
How far away is Dormont from Nihilus' company?
Well, Dormont is literally on top of the dome. So standing on it, he's 50 feet high in the air. So if you're certainly within range attack distance, if that's what your intention is,
So is he around 100 feet?
probably less.
What's the formula for moving
Okay.
and then upways to go back?
So Nihilus is going to call out to Commander Pritchard and say, "We've arrived. What can we do to help?" And he's going to also, seeing Lord Dormont now in view after the light died down, he's just going to yell out, "Pontus, smite this foe! Rid us of his evil presence!" And he's going to cast Guiding Bolt at Dormont.
Okay. Your attack roll.
What would be 50 feet squared?
You can attack it at advantage, by the way. Because he's an illuminated figure. May as well be fairy fire.
It was almost a nat 20, and then it rolled off my binder onto an 8. But the one before was a 17 plus.
50 times 50.
So 21.
Well, yeah, it's a hit.
And 50 feet. 2,500. 2,500. So you're saying this is 5,000?
14 radiant damage.
This to here is 50 feet.
No,
Feet.
15.
50 points of damage? Radiant damage?
I don't know all that.
15 points of radiant damage.
15 points of radiant damage. Okay. So, yeah, so the bolt hits him square in the chest, since he's just kind of not really paying attention to individuals, just kind of looking over the entire area. Slamming him in the chest, you see the radiant energy just explode over him, be absorbed by him. He cries out, "Ah! Who dares strike at the new king?"
50 feet of him, he's 70
And his
feet
eyes
away.
just kind of look around.
Thank you.
May or may not. You don't think he sees?
Definitely not the bright blue creature standing 2 heads above everybody else in the crowd.
I mean, passively, you're not sure that he identified you or anybody specifically as the one that just did that. As it just got his attention as he got hit, and he's like looking around for where it came from. Seems a little bit uncertain. Anyway, he doesn't make a move. Obviously, doesn't make a move. It's your turn still. Anything else?
No, I'm just going to stay there.
Okay. All right. All right. Then we get 2 more units moving. I think this is one of them. And this would be up. All right. Hildy, you just saw what happened with that nightmare and Commander
I
Pritchard.
did. So we're going to charge straight forward up to the temple. I believe we'll be next to it if we move our thing.
Yep, you will. You'll essentially be right there with Commander Pritchard.
Okay. So if we are next to the temple and he's 50 feet up, what is my range from him?
I just did the math.
I know, but that's if I was 50 feet away, but now I'm next to the temple.
I think that if we do the geometry, that's going to put you at about what?
If I was 50 feet away and he was 50 feet high,
Yes.
that would be 70
75.
feet.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. 75. So close enough. 75 or 70. If the math is actually 70, that's fine.
Okay. I guess I'm going
See,
to...
folks, we're learning geometry. This is an educational experience.
Not a fan. I'm going to inspire and they're going to attack.
Okay.
Ranged, I guess.
All right. At
Die at Lord Dormont. So that inspiration didn't work,
Okay.
and neither did that ranged attack.
Okay. So
New dice, folks.
the cloud of arrows just somehow misses this target. And you rolled with advantage, right?
No. Okay, then it did hit.
Okay. All right.
18.
So he gets peppered by several of the arrows. Boom, 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 boom. What's the damage?
40.
Wow, okay, that's huge. He gets hit by a lot of arrows. So you see him kind of stagger back from the blows from the arrows. Obviously, material weapons are affecting him. And although they just kind of fall out or fly through, it's as if he were hit. And he kind of growls and looking around, clearly seeing where all these arrows came from at the company of soldiers at the base of the temple.
Luckily,
His eyes
there's
are
not
on
a
you.
really tall,
Your company, your group.
glowing green person in the middle of the group.
So,
That would be
anything else from
terrible.
Hildy and her group?
No.
Okay. So, last one. Damn it, I can't keep all these guys straight. Let's see. I think this one. All right. Anyway,
If there's too many, you can just take some of them
Yeah.
off the map.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Like the two next to me would be awesome.
The original was. I think it's awesome. How Hildy just kind of passed off her baggage to you as she went rolling by.
I went right for Lord Dormont.
True. And now it's Lord Dormont's turn. Gazing down at all those that are, you got Nidus' group, you got Commander Pritchard, who's now, starting to shout orders to protect the temple, gather at the temple, prepare for the onslaught of undead that are arriving soon, that sort of thing. Gazing down at all of this before him, knowing what he knows, of course, seeing your gathered force. All of you, well, you just need to make one wisdom save for your company and yourself.
Why are you looking at me?
And you start to hear this babbling sound.
22.
22. Is that for you or the company?
You said one wisdom save for
For you and one for the
Oh,
company.
that was for me.
Okay. All right. Shit.
23 for the company.
Wow. You would have felt like shit if you rolled a 1.
I probably would have.
It's as they all just like ran away. You're by yourself. But you this babbling starts to grow louder and louder in your ears. You can see all the people in your company around you are being affected by this chatter that's happening. It's getting louder and louder. You're not quite sure if it's just in your mind or if, well, actually you would know that it's in your mind. Everybody else is not quite sure. Is this something they're really hearing or if it's in their mind? But considering you made your saves, it has no appreciable effect as nobody's running off. It just kind of dissipates.
Stand strong, man!
There you go.
Look, we did it.
But Hildy would definitely know that's a mental attack, given who she is and what she does. So
Well, if she was a little closer, she'd have done the same damn thing.
yeah, he seems a little dismayed that nobody took off. Nobody was affected by that. Nobody was whatever it might have done, and it's going to bring
Again.
up
Which
Jodo.
group is undamaged? Oh, that's right, mine.
Gonna bring up who?
Jodo.
I've heard of him. Okay, I can't delay. I've got to save the whole world, and that's what I got to do.
That would be good.
If I do not disengage, and I just make a run for the center of town,
Dash.
I can get 4 tiles, right?
Yeah, you can. Right, if you're just going to use your action to move, you are going to take 2 opportunity attacks.
It's gonna suck, but I can't just stay.
Some of you may die.
Some of you may die, but I will suffer the great burden as I go on.
That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
That's
Yeah.
not very inspired.
That was not an inspirational speech, but in all seriousness, just standing there in the middle of nowhere is probably not going to help very much.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna take the hit. I'm gonna rip that band-aid off.
Full dash. You got this.
I'll make it so for Shard.
Okay, so really, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 is where you're going to end up.
Nice.
Yep. And you're going to take 2 opportunity attacks.
Maybe they'll miss.
But one of them is a weak army.
That's true. One is a disadvantage, which weakly attacks you and is able to do any effective damage. The other one does, though. It does hit. And let's see what kind of damage it can do. 40 points.
I still think it was worth it.
As you make it out with most of your men alive.
One guy had a sprained ankle, and another guy had a mosquito bite. It's really itchy.
Yeah.
It's distracting. But
Okay.
what is my distance now to the king who never was, the provisional?
Well, you're about 125 feet from. Well, you're 100 feet from the temple, and then he's 50 feet up. So what's that? 100 feet, 50 feet.
That sounds like it's more than 120 feet.
Come on, accountant, do it. That's a lot of feet.
That's a registered term, by the way.
It's true.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's more than 120 feet. I'm just going to kind of...
Do your math thing.
I think it's a little over. Isn't it like 125, something like that?
100 feet away?
100 feet away, 50 feet up.
50 feet up. Doing the math. Clear 100 times 100 plus 50 times 50.
You're going to get through all this and realize that you don't have an action to do anything anyways. So.
111 feet.
Well,
No, I have an individual action.
yeah, he's got an individual action.
111 feet.
111,
0.8.
Okay, so that's within your 120.
Assuming I did the
range.
math
If-
correctly.
If your range is 120 feet, that you're doing whatever.
If my high school geometry teacher is watching this, I never liked you. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go for level 2 spell. Level 2 guiding bolt, which is kind of like level 1, but more of it.
Yeah,
Twice as much?
I get that. So go ahead and make your attack.
Do this. Do this. Which one should I use? This one?
Not that one.
Damn it!
I told you not that one.
I thought you meant not that one.
Now remember, you're attacking at advantage.
Oh, use the orange one. The orange one.
I haven't used that all night.
I know.
You think?
It's been lonely.
Can I be rules lawyer?
No.
Or should we let Jolo have his fun?
What's the rules lawyer?
It says the PC can make a direct attacks against Lord Dormont. They will be unable to issue commands to their company other than make an attack against an enemy or to make an attack. So is a
Well, my company's not making an attack. I'm making an
dash differently?
What's that? No, that movement is right. Is separate from the attack or disengage action. So you can either, just like you would with a regular character, you can move, disengage, dash.
Yeah, but he dashed, right? So I'm just, can he dash and make a
Yes. Yep.
personal attack?
Because that's the action of the company, not his action. He's just commanding the company to dash, like he would command it to move and attack.
But the rule says during a round the PC makes a direct attack against Lord Dormont, they will be unable to issue commands to their company.
Oh. Okay.
No, that's if they if they actually detach from the company.
Oh, okay.
So that's part
Cool.
of, that's under the detach from the company part, which he hasn't done, or nobody's done actually. So
So just in my mind, this is like Empire Strikes Back. I'm Yoda. I'm on Dylan's back in the little backpack, and he's running forward. And now, from 111.8 feet away, which I did in my head, which may or may not be right, I hope it's right.
You wrote it down.
Yeah, so
It's not in your head.
got the numbers wrong. Okay, anyway.
too much math.
So I have a spell attack of +5. I rolled at advantage to 13, so that gives me an 18. That's my math.
Yeah, well, an 18 hits. So roll your damage for the guiding bolt.
And I did say it was level 2, as I recall.
You did. With more
So
radiant
that's-
energy when you use.
That's 5d6. I have 3, so I'm going to re-roll 2 after.
You
Oh,
can have mine.
okay. I'll roll these first, so I can concentrate. Damn it.
He can do the whole Pythagorean theorem thing, but
Eight.
when it comes to counting up 6-sided dice, that's when it gets hard.
Well, there are 5 dice.
Oh, well.
8
That's why he
points.
only owns 3, because 3 are easy. That's,
I had more, but I get confused when there's too much stuff in front of me.
Parcheesi sets out. So, what'd you roll?
8.
8 points of damage.
8 points of massive damage.
Radiant.
Times 10, right? Oh, no, it's just your attack. So just 8 points of damage? With all
4D.
those dice? You just roll. No, you don't times it 10.
Wait.
That's your actual, that would be the company, but you only did 8?
5d6.
But you counted 5d6 and you rolled 8?
Oh,
Yes.
8 plus 5. That'd be like 40.
8 plus 5 is not 40.
Wait, what?
What do you
5d6. I got 8. I got 8 points.
Yeah,
in my
he rolled
5d6.
he rolled 5d6 and he got a total of 8 points.
Wow, okay. That even threw me for a loop. 8 points of damage on 5.
But it's radiant damage, if that helps.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, he takes the damage. Again, he reacts to it and realizes.
I tried.
Yeah, he realizes where it comes from.
Killed me, right?
As he's getting pummeled now by a newcomer.
This was heroic. I ran through 2 different armies, one of which I pretty much destroyed, and with my last breath, this is like the end of a marathon, I hit another 8 points. So
This might be your last breath.
no.
It's his turn now, and he saw you do that.
Yeah, but it's kind of jocular. Like you'd still like this to somebody. Hey, buddy. No. It's like when you say capiche and you slap someone in the face. It doesn't do damage.
Do you think Lord Dormont is a hey buddy kind of guy?
Have you spoken to him?
Yeah, we all did back in the tomb.
No, I didn't speak to him.
Oh, that's right. You were hiding.
I was chasing the grave robbers.
Well, it could have been worse. Okay. All right, so they moved up, and we're at the top of the round again. You're seeing, at this point, those within the center of the village can see some of the other undead approaching through the streets of the village. And you can see them coming from the north, you can see them coming from the east. And it's a lot. I mean, you're looking at probably 400 or 500 undead. In addition to the ones that you've been grappling with for the entire night. Combat's moving swiftly, and now it seems to be all focusing here at the city of the center of the village, where the Temple of Suna, would you call it Tuna?
Sounds fishy.
Is no longer lit up, but sitting there is potentially your only bastion of protection. Stone building, you can hold a lot of people, but probably not all of you. Okay. So, top of the round, we have for one, still engaged with Nihilus, it looks like. And they're just very ineffective group. They can't seem to hit anything. And then the one that was originally, moved the wrong damn one. Well, that's fine. I'll just move him now. So, he would have attacked you last time, but I screwed that up, so he won't. And I've got two others that I gotta move.
When I cast the guiding bolt, we had mentioned the damage, but there is one little footnote there, which will probably help. And the next attack roll made against the target before the end of my next turn has advantage.
Disadvantage. Well, you have advantage anyway because he's lit up. He's illuminated in the night sky.
I thought I was helping.
No, he doesn't have advantage. The next attack roll, not your next attack roll.
Yeah, but
No, but anybody attacking him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So Nihilus is, I believe.
Yeah, no, this is up right now. And anybody attacking Lord Dormont has advantage currently. So, what are you doing on this?
Would I have noticed, looking at him, when I hit him, or when Jolo hit him with the divine energy, if that seemed more effective than when Hildy's arrows hit him?
Well, it was a lot of arrows, and they really passed right through him because he's an incorporeal figure, but you could see him react as if he was hit. And of course, he reacted when he was hit by the radiant energy. What, twice? Twice. It was a similar reaction in terms of, just pain, and it's hard to tell if one was any worse than the other, mainly because the sheer volume of arrows, that just went through him.
Okay, he will, I guess it doesn't matter about inspiring. He'll call out and have them all aim for Lord Dormont to shoot their arrows.
Okay. Again, you have advantage.
That's 15 to hit.
15 hits.
For 30 points of damage.
Okay. The radiant energy just explodes into him. He reacts in an expected way. You don't see damage actually occurring on him. You just see him reacting to damage. But that may not be so unexpected, considering, of course, that he's an incorporeal figure. He wouldn't bleed. He wouldn't break his bones. You wouldn't, singe his clothing or anything like that. But he is definitely reacting. He looks weakened a bit as he looks around and as if he is searching for something. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. So your company is staying where it's at?
Yep.
So your personal attack was against Lord Dormont, right? But you can still order your company to attack whatever.
So I can attack him again with a personal attack?
No, you just did a personal attack.
No, that was a company arrow attack.
Oh, I thought you said you were casting guiding bolt. Did I?
I asked about guiding bolt to see if one seemed to impact him more, and then I said they were all shooting. That's how I got 30.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I thought you were casting guiding bolt. So yes, you used your company attack. You ordered them to attack, but you didn't use an inspiration, correct? Because okay, so you still have your personal attack if you want.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
So guiding bolt.
Right.
Uh, 18.
18 hits. So everything I just described about the radiant energy is what happens to him now. Jeez.
That was pretty good. 18 points of radiant damage.
Okay. All right. His only response at this point is, "Fools! None of you can kill me!"
That's not good.
Waste your attacks as you like. You can't kill me! Is that it for Nihilus?
Yep, that's it.
Alright. Oops. Jeez.
Those bad guys are getting closer.
I think the trick is going to be wiping all of them out before they wipe us out.
That's a
that's it.
very, very, very good position to take.
Well,
Really?
Dylan is my tactical advisor.
Hildy's up. That's true. And that's what he would say.
Okay, so Hildy's group is going to make a ranged attack.
On what?
Dormont,
Dormont? Okay.
you said everybody's got advantage right now, or no?
Yeah, everybody's shooting at this guy because, again, he's background night sky. He's illuminated. So it's just
Okay.
like fairy fire.
Gotcha. Nat 20.
Wow.
Wow.
So 60 points.
Okay. As the cloud of arrows goes through him, you see him react again, but again, he doesn't seem injured, and he looks tired. You see him looking tired, maybe weakened, but still as luminous as ever.
And Hildy is going to cast Force Bolt.
Okay.
So that will be plus 4. $16?
Okay, 16 points of damage.
No. Does a 16
Oh,
hit
16
him?
hits, yes.
Okay. So he takes the D10. 9 points force damage.
Okay, so winces a little bit from the, that's force, you said force.
Force.
Yes, from the blow, as it impacts him. Again, still doesn't seem to be affected after the hit. Okay, and you're gonna stay where you are?
Yeah, why not? What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Funny you should mention that.
Okay. And Joe, you're up. No, sorry, Dormont's up after Hildy. Okay, so... Alright. It's tougher when you're part of a bigger group. Okay, alright. But, in this case, maybe not so much. Focusing on You know what? All of you have been doing a little bit of damage, so I think you can have his attention in one way or another. So we're going to do just a quick check. That goes against Hildy.
Well, she is kind of glowing, so.
So, wisdom.
All right. 8.
Okay. So unlike the babbling that you heard earlier that was rising to a howl but diminished because you were able to save and your company was able to save, this is just you. Now you're hearing these whispers and you're feeling angry. It's making you angry, hearing these whispers as they get louder and louder and more insistent, and then your head begins to hurt and split and you realize that you're taking a mental attack. You take 7 points of psychic damage.
Oof. Okay.
And as you take that damage, just for the flavor of it, because there's no real impact, roll a d20 attack with a melee weapon.
Missed.
Roll
A 2.
a 2. Okay. So 2.
Even with my dex, that's a 5.
For the fortune of the fellow sitting next to you, you just immediately lash out with your short sword, but he just deflects it with his shield. He's like, "What the fuck, Hildy?" You know.
I'm sorry about that.
This is Rolo.
I thought you were Jolo.
What are you doing? You know, Jolo, very different indeed. And then it just diminishes and passes, and you feel probably embarrassed. Who knows? Or maybe satisfied. I don't know. Could be a combination. And that was Lord Dormont. So that brings us to Jolo as we wind down to
I'm just gonna end it.
turn.
No?
Yeah, go ahead.
You need my dagger. Dylan calls over. You gonna end it?
I thought we were on good terms now.
Oh yes, you're right. We are on good terms. Still need my dagger?
Still has a lot to learn. That's fine. The only defense we have is to keep attacking the king who never was. And that's what we're going to focus on. So first, I'm going to use my personal action and cast another level 2 guiding bolt. But I'm going to get more than 8 points this time. Hopefully. But I'm going to roll my d20 first.
So another level 2.
At advantage.
Yes.
Come on, baby. 15 plus...
That's it.
Okay. And I'm going to roll my... Let's do them at the same time.
You can. Everybody else does.
I get confused. That looks better.
It does.
19.
Greater than 8? 19? Okay. Yeah. And that's with your
My guiding bolt,
guiding bolt, radiant
level
damage?
2.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So as you've seen him take damage every time you guys have hit him, no matter what it's with, whether it's with the radiant damage or the force damage or the arrows that fly through him, he reacts to the damage. But after the reaction, aside from him just looking exhausted, he doesn't seem diminished any further.
You didn't like my gift?
Either if he is being diminished further in his health or whatever, you're just not seeing it.
But he's
I mean,
getting
it's
more
not
and
happening.
tired. Like the bags on his
getting tired,
face are just
yeah.
getting
He's
bigger and
He's
bigger.
tired. You can tell that since about a couple of rounds ago, he's just been showing this exhaustion from when the light over the gold dome diminished.
I call out to Dylan. Tell the men, use their arrows on the Dormont of it.
And Commander Pritchard he's basically trying to take control and organize the defense against the undead he knows is coming. As we have Nihilus and Hildy, your companies are in close. He's calling for your company to get in close as you can, and ordering Nihilus to move north, ordering Hildy to move toward the east, and then Jolo to take the south is what he's calling out, and you're receiving similar orders from messengers that are being dispatched to your position if you're not within hearing.
So he's essentially recommended a countermand to my order. He wants me to take out the.
He wants the companies to move into position to
He
protect
wants
the
you to
temple.
get up by the temple with the rest of us.
Is what he's asking. Is what he's ordering, actually, demanding. Okay. So this last one in the turn order.
Wait. What about my company's action now?
Oh, well, let's have it.
I mean, before this message had come through, I told Dylan to launch the arrows against.
Yeah, as you like. And so the messages are just kind of coming in, as all these actions are taking place.
Yes.
So, however you want to do
I'm going to have my men launch the arrows
it.
at the Lord, at the King Who Never Was.
He's got so many names too, apparently.
And let's roll the
Advantage.
10's higher than 1.
10 is higher than 1.
So 10 plus the 2 weapon attacks, that's
12.
12. I'm doing the math.
All right.
So
No?
most of them, just the wind picks up and just kind of carries most of the arrows away from him, not impacting him at all.
Does he look even more tired, though? Like eye strain or something?
Yeah, no, he looks about the same tired ever since the gold dome, the light left the gold dome. So whatever happened during that time seemed to have taxed him a bit. And then that one unit making an attack on you, wow, with a natural 20
On my men, you mean? Or on me?
on your company
That's not good.
Yeah. That's what we call bad.
for 120 points
120.
of piercing and slashing and bludgeoning damage against your group as they slam themselves into you, just tearing and ripping and eating as they go, living flesh, quivering in their claws, stuffing it in their mouths, blood just falling from your men down the front of these creatures' faces and
You're right.
chests.
That's bad.
And as we get to the top of the order with a new turn, you note those of you that have your focus in the night sky at Lord Dormont. I say standing, but he's really hovering above the gold dome. 2 eagles starting to spiral down in the night sky toward Lord Dormont. 2 eagles. And then from various places out near the forest, you hear bestial cries and growls and calls, and they sound just horrific, as if some monstrous creatures don't know whose side they may be on, are vocally emerging from the shadows of the forest all around.
Don't you dare.
And that's what we're going to pick up next time.
I fucking knew it.
So, this will be interesting to see how this all turns out.
Not
But hey,
Are they?
the rabbit.
Are the 2 eagles circling? Are they giant druid-sized eagles, or are they just normal eagles?
it's dark and it's high above them, but I don't know, just for shits and giggles, roll a perception. Or nature, whichever you're better at.
That would be 23.
Yeah. They look larger than usual. At least one does. And with that roll, you realize it's one eagle and the other one is an albatross. So your sharp eyes pick that
Cool.
difference up. From a distance in the night sky, they look very similar, and you assume eagles, but no, your eyes pick up an albatross. Very unusual, especially here. So that's what we'll pick up next time. And thank you all very much. We will see you next week. Have a good night.
Aphrodite, then discuss, her rapper, messy colors, na 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 na, do that, never become business. I love Aphrodite, then discuss, her rapper, messy colors, na 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 na, do that, never become business. I love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous. Discuss.